everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching this on video, you may be able to tell that we're down a few players tonight. But what we do have is Mark Kilfoyle
Hey.
and Chooch Schubert.
Hello, hello.
And we thought that today, for fun, as we give the Heroes of Legend a little break, we might try out one of the adventures in the brand new Ghosts of Saltmarsh book that just came out yesterday. And so we're going to be playing the first, adventure in the book, The Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh.
I just noticed that completely at random we're also playing G&G tonight.
Yeah.
Aaron and Gavin.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
And there was something about Ghostbusters. It was ghosts, and so
Yeah.
all the G's.
Yeah.
G's. G.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Oh jeez. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this adventure then. The setup is, that the two of you had made your way to Saltmarsh, which is a fishing community on the Sword Coast. Like many others, it has all of its various intrigues and banalities and trade and commerce and crime and all of that good stuff. But, the two of you heard a lot of rumors about a certain house, abandoned, haunted, but maybe treasure. So these rumors are on the air, and certainly when you're approaching the city from the right direction, you can see the silhouette of it kind of up on a rocky bluff overlooking the ocean. And so, given that it's visible and yet obviously decaying, a lot of people have strong feelings about it, as you might imagine. But so the two of you have been doing the adventuring thing for a little while. How did you come across one another?
Let's see, let me look through my.
Well, you could also describe your character, perhaps, too.
Yeah, sounds like look at my features and traits and see what would be appropriate.
Who am I today?
Right?
Yes.
I play so many characters. That's seriously a question I have to ask myself. Yes.
So I am inhabiting Gavin Newstead, who's a Lightfoot halfling rogue. Unsurprisingly, had the charlatan background.
Sure.
Pissed off some very powerful people and changed his identity and left to start a new life. So as not to cross paths again.
Intriguing. So, how about Garen?
Garen Uruksadjlandin is, a silver dragonborn of the most noblest of families. There's a whole legacy, but I won't bore you with that right now. Buy me a drink and we'll speak about it more. A sorcerer of some renown, working, of course, for the family. Not Uruksadjlandin's, that's another family. No, the family without a name. One does not speak of it in polite company. But I was pointed towards Gavin as a reliable, available assistant. Some of my own necessary travels.
Yes, a man of complementary skills, perhaps.
Well, I haven't heard all of his compliments, but I'm sure I will.
Oh, I'm very complimentary.
All right. So when you guys were first hanging out, getting the sense of Saltmarsh as a place, getting the lay of the land, so to speak, and you started hearing these rumors, what about it was particularly caught your interest? Now, the rumors were all about how There are various stories of who used to actually live there, but there were certainly stories that it was a famous alchemist of some renown who was working on ways to turn things into gold. No one's been there for a long time, and it's obviously decaying. But many people have spoken about how it's definitely haunted. There are strange sounds and strange lights that come from it at night, and yet there might be treasure laying within. Now, what elements of those rumors are have caught your particular interest?
Well, gold is a little bit old-fashioned, you might say. I much prefer silver, but the rumors of such proficient magic have reached the family, and they're very interested in making sure that secrets like that are well attended to and in the proper scope of things. If we happen to find a few baubles lying around, of course, we can take payment from that.
Very nice.
As far as my concern.
How about you, Gavin? Are you just along for the ride, and maybe for the things that'll fit in your pocket?
Exactly. I'm quite interested in the part where everybody's scared away and nobody's around to see what I'm doing.
Very nice.
You know, Gavin, for such a short man, you have extraordinarily deep pockets.
So, what you quickly find as you ask after these rumors a little bit is that none of the people passing on these rumors to you have ever been there in person. It's all third or fourth hand stuff. So, do you try to seek out and find someone who's actually been there, or do you just head on up that hill?
A little reconnoiter can't hurt. Also, my small friend might like to know who else might be interested to avoid their presence.
Mm-hmm. We'd certainly do some digging into the come-ins and goings and try to suss out if there's anybody.
All right.
You know.
Well, so without need for any sort of a roll, if you guys are doing some digging, you're doing the due diligence, putting in the legwork, as they say.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
You do eventually come across a man who is a former opportunist, you might say. Now he finds his opportunities with people who are willing to buy him drinks in a little tavern. And he sees one of those opportunities in the two of you because he claims to have been in that house.
One of the dangers of being of the upper stature and obviously so rich. Very well. Tell a short tale for an ale, then.
So this guy is described to you as a poacher who now mostly poaches beer. But you meet him. He's this grizzled old coot. Introduces himself as Smithy, and for the price of an ale or two, I'll tell you a tale that'll turn your hair white. Or, your scales maybe. I don't know if they change color.
They remain most pristine silver, but your tale will nonetheless intrigue my interiors.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I myself have in my past been someone unafraid of danger. But, mostly what I like, I know I like it, and that's good old inebriation. And so I thought to myself, there was a fancy fellow used to live up in that house. Mayhaps a big fancy house like that had a wine cellar. And I thought, maybe some of that wine's still in there. And so I made my way up there, and I tell you, that place is as creepy as all get out. All boarded up like and rotting away and dusty and moldy. But, I made my way up through that overgrown yard. There's remnants of a garden with tools just left out to rust in the ground. And I went around, I made my way to the back door thinking, if that was where they're going to have an entrance to a wine cellar, that's where I'd expect to find it. And, I could walk by The place is a ruin. It's bring a tear to your eye, or maybe a laugh if you're not so fond of the rich folk. But such a fancy house brought to such a state must have taken something. And yet, I wanted some of that wine, so I made my way in the back door. And I already had the hair on the back of my neck standing up. Strange sounds, cold wind coming out of nowhere. And I opened that back door and it creaks open. And it's an empty kitchen. And I could see across the way in the scullery stairs that would lead down to a cellar. But no sooner did I step foot into that kitchen, but then I heard the most blood-curdling screams I've ever heard in my life. And up from those stairs came an apparition like I've never seen. Mm-hmm. It was all translucent and spectral-like, but it looked beautiful and yet horrible, like the house itself, something once gorgeous and now turned to ruin. And it reached out its hand at me, and it made that same scream, and I tell you, I did not go any further after that wine because my life is worth more to me than wine. And so I hightailed it out of that kitchen. I made my way back down the hill. But you know, sometimes I still feel like I'm going to just turn around and find that apparition behind me. It was the most frightening experience I've ever had.
Does he seem sincere?
Make an insight check.
Most intriguing story. 5.
I was going to do that, but I have -1. I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I would say even with a low insight score, you can definitely tell he's very into telling this story. Like he's making a production of it. But
how he makes his beer money. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, how much of the story is true? Like, who can say? He also doesn't necessarily seem like the person who would be able to understand details of what he might have seen anyway. But that's his story, and he finishes off with after the second round with a warning. You know, it's like, beware if you make your way up to that hill. Mm-hmm. Take caution, lest you be haunted evermore by the apparition that lives inside that cursed house.
Your words have got a considerable weight and wisdom to them, friend Smitty. Please enjoy another round. May your nights have some rest to them.
It does bring warmth to my chilled blood. Thank you.
Of course.
And be careful.
Well warned.
Yes.
A little later on.
Careful.
Friend Gavin, let us not try the back door.
All right. I mean, we can start anywhere, but, I mean, that's a nutter if I've ever seen one. He's probably drunk.
Undoubtedly,
Probably a raccoon or something.
Well, I think he's seen more raccoons than either one of us, certainly more than me. I suspect he's quite familiar with scampering about and even fighting them off for food.
Sure.
They eat them. Oh, how distressing. But it seems as though that door, whatever reason, might be either trapped with some apparition or something is waiting there. So perhaps we had best not start there.
Good point.
Also, I'm not sure if I know what kind of creature that might be. Are you familiar?
Like I said, it's probably a raccoon.
Perhaps we should pick up.
A possum can have quite a mean wail, given the right circumstance and enough inebriation.
Nothing but wine to drink or eat. Perhaps, friend Gavin, we should pick up a small bag of provisions, something we can assuage the angry and hungry animals with. A small
That's
bag
good
of
thinking.
meats or something.
Yeah.
Do they like cheeses?
Oh yeah.
Quite fond of cheese myself.
Oh yeah.
Cheese.
Cheese for the win, we always say.
Oh, do you? What a delightful expression.
So yeah, if you guys want to get some, hunks of cheese that critters might be hankering for, that is certainly doable.
Indeed.
All right, so unless you have other business, I'll assume you're heading on up to the house then?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
think
known-
I've got other random adventuring things with me, so I think I'm good.
Is it known whose house this is at present? Does anyone own it?
So all you heard about was that it did once belong to this famous alchemist. Nobody really knows what became of him, but the house started to fall into disrepair, and increasingly everyone who approached it started coming back saying they didn't want to go back anymore, but that was a while ago, and so really now it's just kind of been, it's that creepy old house and someone ought to do something about it, and everyone looks at each other and it's like, well, not me though.
Indeed. Well then, I think that it should be safe enough. Besides, if anyone still lays claim to ownership of this place, then well, we can deal with them inside, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the road to the house winds through the rocky coastal terrain, often offering a view of the sea below. Low clouds press upon you. Occasional patches of sunlight appear out over the water. A stiff wind blows in off the waves, carrying the briny stink of churning salt water. And as we're beginning this, I'm going to go ahead and start a little music here thing. Anyone in the chat, please do let me know if the music is ever too loud. It's a little bit hard to guess sometimes. But in any case, if you're looking at this, I do have an image of this house as you approach it up the steep rocky cliff. And you actually find that as you're leaving the main part of town, you get a few looky-loos who are kind of following you.
Common problem. People are always interested in what the nobles are up to. Just ignore them, Gavin. I'm sure they'll wander away once they see where we're going.
So as you make your way there, they do seem to be, they're not really like trying to stay hidden. They're not hiding from you. They're just kind of pretty obvious about following you and kind of talking casually to each other. But then as you start getting close to the house, they do kind of fall back and then turn back to the town.
You called that one.
I would still keep an eye out. No doubt your discerning eye will pick out if any of them decide to double ahead, as it were.
So it's actually 4 miles out of the town, and it's accessible by this old road. But as the house comes into view, the decrepit house sits on the highest ground in the area. Around it, a stone wall has crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. An ornate metal gate lies open at the end of the road, swaying slightly in the wind. Wild flora grows throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of a well-tended garden that once sat here. Near the house, the rotted wooden roof of a water well rises out of the tall grass. The house is about 30 feet tall. It has clearly a ground floor another level above that, and then an attic. And the roof is, gabled, and like in the picture, you can see that there's several places where the, parts of the roof are kind of caved in. It's in very bad shape.
A terrible shame. Obviously had taste, and undoubtedly, if these plants had not gone wild, there'd be useful ingredients among them. Sadly, I never studied alchemy, but I understand it has something to do with plants and things.
Oh, I thought you meant for food.
Well, I'm sure you could eat some of them.
Are you looking around the garden at all?
A little bit here and there.
Go ahead and make an investigation or survival check, whichever you prefer.
I would not survive. Are you kidding me? Oh wait, that's a 7. So that's a 8.
Okay. Yeah, it's so overgrown that it's really hard to tell what, if anything, might have, been grown in this garden. I mean, it was clearly tended at one time. You can occasionally see little trellises or, scaffolds here and there. You do see the handle of, the rotted handle of, a shovel sticking out of a clump of, shrubbery. But for the most part, it's just overgrown back to a wildness almost.
Pity.
In fact, there's one big area is kind of completely overgrown with a rose bush that has kind of spread its, thorny branches all throughout everything. So a lot of it is you can't really poke through it too much more because without getting poked by the thorns.
I'd like to do a once around, around the house.
Okay.
If I can just kind of check, and specifically kind of looking for comings and goings. Like, I would imagine there would be kind of a more public path where a lot of people are looky-loos, and I want to see if there's any lightly used path, like somebody trying to secretly go in and out of the house.
Okay, so go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay. Uh, 18.
18, that's pretty good.
19 minus 1.
So as you there's a few things that you notice as you kind of make your way around the exterior. The wall that is around it, was once about 6 feet tall, but it is, partially collapsed in several places. It's, so it's really serving no actual use at this point. The garden itself, as you're looking for tracks and stuff, you do see that there's an area under. You're following what at first seems like it might be, some scuffed up dirt, but you realize that it's because something has dug a burrow under the rose bush. And so you kind of just see the opening of it. As you are making your way around, there's a well, as old Smithy mentioned. It has a wooden roof built over it, and if you look down inside, it descends about 20 feet, but it does seem to have water in it still. There's no sign of a bucket or anything, but you could, you can see the water below. And there is indeed a front door and a back door. You don't see any evidence of recent footprints in here, or outside.
So, nobody here recently, and a raccoon burrow. Told you.
Yes. Quite observant, Kevin. Well, it's a good thing we picked up that cheese then.
So, I don't know. I guess I don't really see any reason not to go through the front door.
Indeed.
Alright. So, as you make your way, step onto the porch. The wood of the porch groans ominously, but supports your weight. The front door is not locked. It opens onto a musty, dirty entrance hall. To your left, a corridor leads into the west wing of the house. The walls are bare and bits of smashed furniture lie upon the floor. Ahead of you, another corridor leads toward the rear of the house. A staircase on the eastern wall climbs to the next story. You know what? Actually, I have the map that I'm going to put on here, so let me do that so that, some of my descriptions have that extra context.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, the ground floor, the center of the bottom on there is that door that you're entering. I know you probably can't see a lot of the detail there, but... So this is the basic layout. So, as I said, the staircase so, to your left, a corridor leads into the west wing of the house. And the walls are bare and bits of smashed furniture lie upon the floor. Ahead of you, another corridor leads to the rear of the house. A staircase on the eastern wall climbs to the next story, reaching it at a balcony that overlooks the entrance hall along its north and west sides. The stairs appear to be safe to climb, though the balcony rail is broken in several places. Under the stairs at the north end of the hall, a third corridor leads east. And generally, as you look around the place, it's dilapidated and damp. There's mold everywhere. The woodwork is pretty rotten. There's dust and cobwebs everywhere. Plaster falling from walls. The place is a mess.
Oh, dear friend Gavin, I knew it would be awful, but it simply looks disgusting, really.
So, right, brevity, is somewhere you want to start? I mean, you want to target? Do you have any idea of what...
Well,
We're looking for the master's chambers? We're looking for a lab?
Well, I suspect that any papers were left out might be long since torn to shreds by nature, but perhaps some sort of lab would be appropriate. Or a raccoon. Oh, dear.
Oh, hey.
Those do sound deadly.
Have
paper.
each of you make another investigation or survival check.
One of us got
3.
7.
Yeah. Like, it's everything in this place is so run down that it's a mess of detail for the eye. So, like, it's just everywhere you look, it's like crumbling dust or drywall or fading, wallpaper or mold or whatever, and it's kind of hard to just make sense of it.
There's one good thing, friend Gavin. By not going through the back door, we haven't encountered any raccoons yet. Perhaps you should avoid that part of the building until absolutely necessary.
So from so on the map here, the back door, which you definitely saw from the outside, the way to get there would be to take the hallway that's straight ahead, because the back door is the back door. Well, there was actually, you know what? I'm looking. Okay, no, I'm mistaken. The back door is if you took the hallway to the left, it would be in that wing. And I had so I described it a little bit wrong because I was assuming that the door was in a different place. But yeah, it's fine. Oh, you know what? Here's the part of the problem is that the description doesn't describe more than one back door, but I'm looking at the map and there's definitely more than one. Because so if you look on the right side, about midway up of that top wing, there's a door there, and then there's also a door with a porch on that west wing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So,
and we came in through the south.
Yes, right? The center, the center of the the bottom, the south wall.
Yeah, and Smitty would have described the one that's going downstairs, going down. So
right, so the one
that makes sense.
Yeah, the one that was in the north wing is the one that he said he went in.
No, hear nothing. Wanna split up and look around this floor?
I'd rather feel a bit more comfortable. You and your raccoon expertise were nearby me.
All right.
Mind.
All right.
But perhaps the eastern wing has no doors to the outside, and therefore might be the least creature-infested corner of the building to start with.
Okay.
Maybe the one would have the least damage, too.
So if you make your way, past the stairs and look down that hallway leading east, you can see that it's a narrow hallway that runs, past 2 doors on the right. And then, on the left side of that hallway is windows to the outside.
Sounds like to...
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I would like to walk down the hall, pause to listen at the first door, and assuming I hear nothing, move on to the second door.
Right. You can go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm going to look at the state of the windows to see if creatures have crawled into those.
A whole 6.
Yeah, you basically you don't hear anything. I think the creaking of the house under the breeze coming off of the ocean is kind of unsettling, and it doesn't, if there were any movement, it's buried beneath that because you don't hear anything. The windows are broken in several panes, but you also don't necessarily see any evidence that anything has come through, so much as maybe, someone blew rocks through it, or they were broken in a storm, perhaps.
Well, at least I'm not standing in raccoon shit. So,
Yeah.
No fur evident?
Yeah.
All right.
Shall we
So,
take a look at the first door, then?
Yeah, I figured it'd start at the end and work back.
all right. They are, simple wooden doors that, look like they were, once nice wood, but they've just not been cared for at all. The door is not locked. As you open it, the only thing of note in this room is a clump of tiny red mushrooms growing around a fireplace in a semicircular formation. Otherwise, the room is bare. You'd guess that it might have been once at one time like a living room type of room, but it's been stripped of all its furnishings.
Nothing at all in here. Strange enough.
Just the fireplace and, mushrooms.
There might be secret still. I want to look for any kind of trapdoors in the floor.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay, cocked. 7.
Wow, you guys are
Easiness.
just having a rough time with the dice
I
today.
am...
So you do not find any secret doors on the floor. Pretty much the only feature, in the room is the fireplace. That's kind of...
Right.
Is it at least a nice fireplace? Was there a carved front or anything?
Well, here, let me see if it has any special notifications. Let's see.
You heard of mushrooms and alchemy?
Yeah. The fireplace is, shows no sign of recent use. It's, this looks like it was once a nice house, and so it's not ornately carved or anything. It was just kind of like tasteful, smooth, polished stone, but, it's just decrepit now. The mushrooms, are, just little red ones. You can make a nature check if you're interested in them.
Sure, why not?
Why not? 18 on that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is a known species of mushroom. They are not really good for cooking because they don't taste good, but they're harmless otherwise.
You say they're in a ring around the fireplace.
Yeah, like a half circle.
Is there a carpet on the floor? Is it damp?
No, with an 18 for your nature, you'll know that it is actually a thing, that mushrooms can sometimes grow in circular shapes like that. That's, they're sometimes called fairy circles in the forest, and there are superstitions and legends that has to do with fairies, but it could theoretically also just be explained by mushroom biology.
How strange. Well, one room down. This one's been obviously struck of all interesting things by previous vandals. No doubt they did not bother to announce their victory over this house. Shall we to the next room, friend Gavin?
Yeah, the door's halfway. Looks like a door in between the rooms.
Yes, so there is a door between these two, rooms, and so as you open that door into the next one, the room on the end is, aside from a large amount of plaster that has fallen from the ceiling, this room is completely bare.
Well, I thought we'd encounter raccoons, not bears. Something that makes this rather curious to me. If indeed this place has laid bare for so long, and the alchemist was simply missing, wouldn't likely have taken all of his furniture with him. But if the house is empty, then it presumes that he moved out. Not in so much of a hurry, after all. Either that or all the furniture he bought was truly cheap and made of things that just sort of evaporate over time.
What? Well, never moved any in. I mean, it's possible.
Also, the door wasn't locked. People could have come and stolen it. So
they weren't nailed down.
Indeed.
But you don't know.
All right.
It might be scrape marks where some of the furniture is dragged out, but I'm not interested in chairs. Not much, anyway. A good chair is something to cherish, of course. With a tale, it makes it even more important. But a tale to tell. Shall we move
safe, on the other hand.
Well, do you see a safe?
No. I'm just...
Not even any paintings on the wall. It's drab and dreary and empty. There's not even a fireplace in this room, is there?
Nope. Not in this one. If you want, go ahead and make another perception check for me, though.
Both of us are just Gavin.
Well, I was going to say you, Garen, because you were the one that was kind of looking around the room.
So that's a 3.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. So I wanted to investigate this room's floor to look for more trapdoors.
Yep. All right.
Jesus. 4.
Wow, you guys. Dang. All right, so...
Can I buy a clue, please? No.
I think part of what's going on right now is you think you might be allergic to some of this mold or something. Your eyes are a little watery.
Sneeze a little bit, and there's a hang of cold air that blows out. I hope I don't catch cold in this place. Which would be rather ironic, given that colds don't bother me. Still.
Okay.
Shall we go west, then?
Yes!
Still rather avoid the kitchen than that screaming raccoon.
It's kind of the west to the left, the little room at the front of the house.
All right, so as you make your way in that direction, that you do pass through that hallway that has a door on both the left and the right, and as you open the one on the left, this room was once a library with bookshelves around the walls. Most of the shelves are broken, and in many places they have come away from the wall. The few shelves still intact are empty, but a pile of books rests in the southwest corner.
Well, this could be interesting, if a little disgusting. My education lacked certain things. I pull on a pair of gloves.
All right.
I'm guessing furniture lovers love books too, but have at it.
There might be something interesting.
Sure.
So I start looking through the books.
Yeah. So the books are covered with cobwebs and like rat droppings, and they got some mold on them. Like all of them are in damaged shape, but mostly could still be read. Most of them are just like dull, like histories or poems and that sort of thing. But 3 of them catch your eye in particular. They have clear titles on their spines. One is The Magical Properties of Gemstones by the Archmage Tensor. The Magical Properties of Herbs and Flowers by the Archmage Tensor. And The Metaphysics of Mathematics by the Mage Nistel. So, you've just seen those covers. Do you
I'm definitely taking a closer look at those.
all right? You kind of as you kind of flip open each just to check the condition of it, you discover that they are all legible. And although the covers are a little bit damaged, you suspect that collectors of magic books would probably buy these from you. Also, as you're kind of flipping through, you do see that in the 3rd one, the Metaphysics of Mathematics, a piece of parchment which had been torn from something else was kind of in between, like a bookmark. And it contains just a few lines of handwritten text, but dampness has spoiled it so that the only 2 words are legible, and those words are "Beyond Skeletons," period.
You see this? You see this, friend Gavin? All of those looters were looking around for shiny baubles and fancy furniture. They overturned all these books, probably expecting to find some sort of hidden door or hidden gem, and yet they passed these over. These two are the hidden gems. I think we've already stumbled upon something making this entire endeavor somewhat worth it.
That's quite a keen eye you've got there.
Well, thank you. I know. But I'm a little disturbed by this piece of paper, this parchment. Sadly, most of it is missing. I will try something, however. I will cast Mending on the parchment to see if it reveals anything more of it.
Excuse me. I think what happens is you mend it, and it restores it to like fresh parchment, but it doesn't preserve the writing that had been destroyed.
Nah. The only thing legible about it are these pair of words, "beyond skeletons." I don't know what that means necessarily in context, but the page that it was wedged into, can I discern anything from that? Anything interesting about the context?
It's in the book, The Metaphysics of Mathematics, but there doesn't seem to be anything of significance on that page particularly. Like, nothing that seems connected to skeletons, for sure. It's just kind of a middle page of a chapter with nothing obvious of note about it.
Alas, well, if we should see some skeletons, be sure to look beyond them. Perhaps it'll mean something then.
All right. Keep an eye out for skellies.
I mean, generally a good piece of advice, anyway. As for the rest of these tawdry poems, I've read half of these anyway. They're the ones about history of a particular interest, but the history...
Any smut?
These books. I'm afraid I'm not quite familiar to discern the smut for the regular...
There's some poetry that's kind of romancy fancy, but...
This book is rancid, but the paper's fine.
That's not my... You're entitled to your own thing, but that's not for me.
It's not mainly describing biological action.
Next.
Fornication.
All right, so are you headed across the hall or to the end of the wing?
Indeed, I'll throw these 3 books in my book bag.
Sure thing. You would guess, based on your knowledge of just how much books cost, is that you could probably get about 7 to 10 gold for each of them from from someone who's actually interested. Like the average townsfolk would not care, but someone who's interested would probably buy them for about that
And
much.
someone in the family would probably buy them for a laugh, if nothing else.
So across the hall, this room was once a writing room or a study. Against the wall under the windows sits a large wooden writing desk, partially broken and riddled with damp rot. There are 3 drawers in each side of the desk and a large central drawer. The latter is closed, but the others are all open, and 2 of them have been broken open forcibly.
Rummagers again, not recognizing the true value of what's around them. Still, it does show that there was at least some credible, intelligent, and perhaps gentlemanly or ladylike person who lived here. Someone almost of nobility. Still,
I'm wondering why that drawer's closed. So I want to look at the closed drawer and see if there's anything.
Well, the reason it's closed is pretty obvious when you test it, is that it is locked.
Huh. Well, try to unlock it.
All right. Go ahead and roll a thief's tools.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, I was gonna
say, how does that work?
Proficiency plus dexterity.
I gotcha. Okay. All right, here we go. 26.
Holy
Yep.
crap.
That does it. It comes open easily. As you slide it open, it clearly has papers in it. As in the description, this is that long, shallow drawer that's in the center, like that would be above where your legs go. And it has a lot of old documents written in common.
Okay, I'll hand those to him.
Ah, what have we here? Oh, well preserved, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be receipts for purchases of various chemicals and laboratory equipment.
Can I discern what they might be used for in particular? Alchemical thingy, Bob?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Oh, here we go. 22.
Uh-huh. They are definitely, most of them are the sorts of things that you would expect to find in a standard alchemical laboratory. Anyone who studies the art of chemistry when blended with magic. But there are a few pieces of equipment that you would not normally expect to find in that sort of laboratory, and so is it significant perhaps that some of these are unusual, but most of them are just what you would expect to see in an alchemical laboratory.
Are the quantities unusual?
No, not so much. It's mostly just there's quantities that are unusual just in the sense that there are a few things that seem like, why would someone need 10 pounds of powdered horse hoof?
Well, I mean, an aphrodisiac among certain circles, but friend Gavin, I have stumbled upon a mystery, or rather you have, with your deft fingers. Why would you put these in a locked drawer? Is there anything else in there? Something perhaps that might be hidden even further.
It's like a false bottom.
You want to make an investigation check?
Yeah. 10.
No, there doesn't seem to be, as far as you can tell.
My curiosity is piqued. If you don't mind me taking a few minutes, I'd like to engage in some supernatural senses.
Ah, yeah.
And I would like to... nope, that one can't be ritually cast, so never mind. I will just simply cast this action. No, sorry, it can be.
Which?
Actually, can I do ritual casting? I haven't played a world.
Of which? Of what?
Of Detect Magic.
I'm pretty sure sorcerers have ritual casting, don't they?
I just realized I didn't know.
Well,
Yeah, I thought it was based on the spell.
I will rule that you can, but I'm going to also double check real quick.
Yeah, it's one of those things that so often people get it, but no one actually does.
You know what? It looks like they do not
Oh,
have
well.
ritual casting. So
Then
you can spend the spell slot on it, though.
let me just check one thing. What did I end up picking? Okay, neither of the things I picked for meta magic matters, but I will cast Detect Magic. It lasts for a good period of time, and we've covered a few places, so...
You can take a ritual caster feat as a sorcerer.
Yeah.
All right, then.
So in any event, when you cast Detect Magic and a translucent veil descends over your eyes, and sure enough, within this room, you do sense the presence of something magical beneath that drawer in part of what would normally just be behind where the drawer goes into the rest of the desk.
I will point it out to my friend Gavin. There is something there of some magical nature. What kind of magic am I detecting?
What's the I don't know all of the different the schools very well. It's the healing kind.
Something of a healing nature. Tucked in there behind. Can you take a closer look for me?
That's just
so
cheating.
You can make another investigation or perception at advantage.
All right. It's not any better. Okay. So that'd be 16.
Ha! Especially now that you know something is there, you spot something you had overlooked before. There is indeed a small secret compartment, and inside is something wrapped in cloth.
I'll pull it out. And
this is definitely what you're seeing in the Detect Magic. Do you unwrap the cloth?
Yeah, I'll turn towards him and slowly unravel it. That's cheating. I looked; it was not there.
Very clever one. What do we have here?
So inside the cloth is a glass vial, and it contains what you definitely recognize as potion of healing. And it looks like this vial would have 2 doses worth.
Well, keep that on hand. We should probably perhaps take care, but it does appear to be a potion of healing. Perhaps something created by our very own alchemical host here. While I have these magics activated, they do last for a 10-minute span. Perhaps we should take a very quick perusal through the other rooms just to make sure we haven't missed something. Now that we've confirmed that indeed there might be something still left to find.
Yes.
I'm going to go back through real quick where we already went.
I'm just. Do you have Detect Magic up the description? I just want to I don't remember can it see through walls at any distance or what is it? Oh, let's see. Penetrate most barriers blocked by 1 foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it can see through minor barriers like that.
Common walls, yeah.
All right, so are you're in the one room. There doesn't seem to be anything else magical in this room. Are you going back to the other rooms that you have visited already?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head briefly first into the library, which was back across the hall, and you don't see anything magical in there. And then and then when you return over to those other 2 rooms in the east wing, I'm just double checking. You do not sense anything magical in either of those rooms either.
Yeah, these rooms are truly scrubbed from head to toe. Still, I'll maintain the spell for a few more minutes, just in case.
All right. Headed back into that
head all the way west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So as you enter that room, you do actually see that there seems to be something magical in the illusion school in the center of the floor in the middle of the room.
There's something there in the center of the room. Is there anything
Well,
on there?
let me also describe the room. So a door in the north wall leads onto a small patio, the paving cracked and overrun with weeds. Other than a pile of refuse in the southeast corner, the room is bare. But like I said, just in the middle of the floor, you see that there's something in the illusion school there.
There seems to be some sort of illusion. It might They might very well be covering a pit or perhaps a trap, so be careful, Gavin. But, friend Gavin, if you could take a closer
All right.
a little to your left, further forward, there.
So, go ahead and make another investigation or survival check for me, Gavin.
10.
Okay. So, you actually, as you're making your way in that direction, you do actually spot that it's subtle. You didn't notice it before, but there is actually a set of footprints here. And they actually lead to this spot and then stop there. And just as you're realizing that, suddenly a voice shouts out, echoing through the room, "Welcome, fools! Welcome to your deaths!" I need both of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Damn raccoons. We've learned to speak. Wisdom. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Predictable.
1.
I got a 9.
Both of you failed. I'm changing us to suspenseful music because now you are both frightened.
Oh, wait. I've got a frightened thing in my...
Oh, yeah. Do you have
traits,
advantage
my
against
feet.
that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think, yeah.
I am brave. Advantage on saving throws versus
Okay,
frightened.
so yeah, you can roll that again.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, yeah. So you are basically, this voice just scares the crap out of you guys, and you're like, your heart's pounding, you're like, your vision blurs a little bit. It's just like, oh God! It's like your life flashed before your eyes for a second, and so currently you are both frightened and you have disadvantage on all your ability checks.
Like we need disadvantage.
Yeah. So, but Gavin did notice just before that happened the footsteps.
A ghost.
Do we see anyone, any person, any figure?
Well, but you tricksy folks. There's footsteps going right to that spot. I bet you it's a trick to keep people away from going into that spot.
Well,
But
kill
I'm
the
not.
trick then. Kill it.
That's your department.
Well, I can't see anything. There's nothing there.
So you can make another investigation check if you like, because you certainly have more than... Yeah, you make it an advantage because you have like a couple of different reasons to believe something's there.
So that's advantage and then disadvantage. So it's normal.
Well, yes.
Oh, right. Huh?
Yeah.
So, now it's still 17.
Okay. 17 though, you do spot that there does seem to be a hidden trapdoor in the floor in that spot.
There is a doorway.
Screw the doorway, friend Gavin. Where's the person?
There's.
Well, you did see something in the illusion school right in that spot. It does, so it's illusions can be sound too.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere near it. It's terrifying.
All right. Well, we could check the rest of the house first.
Yes, let's leave this for now.
Yeah, it's like, whew, man. It's like you got cold sweat on your forehead. It's like, just.
I think I'd rather face the raccoon.
Yeah. All right. So
That was no raccoon.
Are you heading back towards sort of the center? So there's still the north wing, and then of course you haven't been on the second floor yet.
Right.
Well, we do know, friend Gavin, that there's a raccoon towards the northern. Forgive me, that was rather terrifying. But we could go upstairs instead, if we didn't want to face the raccoon just yet.
All right. Yeah.
Raccoons can be rather frightening, so I'd rather not just have them jump out at me.
I didn't necessarily catch how long ago it was that bloke was here, but may as well go upstairs.
I mean, don't raccoons
I think
travel in
he
families?
told you it was a couple of months ago.
Gotcha.
So probably a whole brood back there by now. Perhaps we can leave that for now and then upstairs. These stairs look much more sturdy and farther away.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, as you make your way up the stairs, they do creak ominously, but they do support your weight. And as you reach the top, there is, of course, the balcony that looks down over the hall, and it extends to your left, where it splits to be a balcony. So if you turned left, you would reach an intersection where you'd turn left again, and it's just the balcony over the hall still. Or you could turn right into the upper level of the north wing, or you could go to the upper level of the east or west wings.
I think traveling further east would be nice. Further and further away from that terrifying noise.
All right.
If possible.
So as you look down that east hallway, you see there are 3 doors on your right.
Yes.
So I'm going to go all the way to the end.
All right. All the way to the end. Okay. Okay. What you see is that that door is locked.
Well, that seems like a good sign, doesn't it? How long does the frightened condition last, by the way?
An hour, but every 15 minutes you can remake the saving throw.
Okay. And is the detective had to 10 minutes, so.
Yeah, so it's still up for now.
Okay.
And it will run out before your first opportunity to try to shed the frightened.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, 24 to unlock.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are still doing the just like you're totally doing like the Ghost Hunters thing. It's like, what was that?
I'm seeing everything in shades of green, like the
Garen, make a perception check while Gavin is doing the lockpick.
At disadvantage too.
Yep. And your lockpick should have been at disadvantage.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perception.
So...
Yeah.
9.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you are jumpy because this house, it's literally on a cliff above the water, so like the wind and its age has just got it making creaks and groans every few seconds, and you're very on edge.
Friend Gavin, I'm not sure if I'm more offended or afraid of this place. It's gone to terrible ruin, but also terrible ruin.
So, Gavin,
so it drops to 14.
14? Okay, let's see. That's enough. It's not a very sophisticated lock. And in fact, actually, you notice this lock has been recently oiled.
Somebody likes this door.
Yeah.
I take it raccoons are not known for oiling doors. Not.
Very dexterous fingers, but no oiling.
So, as you open the door, in the southeast corner of this decayed bedroom lies a man. He is alive, though bound and gagged. He is clad only in undergarments and appears to have no weapons or equipment. And so basically this bound, gagged guy looks over to you.
That's no raccoon.
Any sign of magic?
No.
He's not an illusion, at least, or a raccoon. Stand here and watch guard. I'll check on him.
All right.
To check on him.
Okay. So you just head right for him.
Yes.
Make a dexterity saving throw for me. Saving throw, not ability check, so no disadvantage.
It's still not going to be great. Oh, actually, that's a 20 total, not natural.
Your foot goes through the floor. Not like an illusion, but like it's rotten, and you barely scramble backwards and fall on your butt instead of falling all the way through to the level below.
Terrible shambles of a place. Does it look as though it was sawn if I sort of crawl forward?
No, it's the floor is just clearly rotten. And like certainly now that you're sort of paying attention, you can look and see that it's a bit less rotten around the edges. It's just kind of the center of it. And you also vaguely recall that the room below you is the room that had a lot of plaster that had fallen from the ceiling. But yeah, the guy on the bed in the corner is kind of looking at you and then like gesturing with his head, like around the edge of the room.
Yes. Well, perhaps
I'm
I
gonna
should
draw my short bow and just keep it on the guy.
Okay, his eyes kind of widen.
I'm going to stand up and brush myself off. Friend Gavin, you tend not to stand in the middle of the room. It seems to be somewhat rotten. And I'll delicately kind of step around, very carefully, testing the floor before I step onto it.
Yeah, so now that you can see that spot where it was actually sagging, it's pretty easy to avoid. And so just by going around the edge of the room, it's easy to reach the bed. And you got the guy there who's got his eye on Gavin still with the bow, but he's looking at you like,
I'll take his gag off first. Now, friend, don't worry.
Oh, you gotta help me. Please, gotta get me out of this place.
One thing at a time, sir. Let me attempt to remove your bindings. Where are your clothes?
I think I know where they might have put them. There's a couple of other bedrooms around here, but oh man, just please untie me. Untie me. I don't want to spend any longer in this place than I have to.
Just take care. And I'll pull out my dagger. It's rather silvered and kind of pretty and mostly decorative, but it does have a sharp edge. And I will cut free his hands and then proceed to cut free his legs.
Oh, thanks, mister. Oh man, I don't know what I would have done if you guys hadn't come along.
Yes, well, undoubtedly had a bed rash. Now, if you'll be careful, what do I call you, by the way? You can call me Darren.
Name's Ned. Ned Shakeshaft. He's human, incidentally.
Ned Shakeshaft.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll never get over the human inadequacy in naming, but still, nice to meet you, Ned. Please, step where I step delicately.
Yeah. Are you guys adventurers?
Investigators more than adventurers, I think. Adventures seem so tawdry and common.
Well, you guys got to be careful around here. Like, I thought I was coming in to investigate this place too, right? Like, I was coming into town. I thought maybe I could find some place to sleep here. Next thing I know, I'm walking through the kitchen, hit over the back of the head. I wake up on that bed. I've been there for like a day and a half.
Raccoons, eh?
What are you talking about?
Crafty.
Yes.
Raccoons?
Did they hit you?
It's a working theory.
Well, he reaches up to his head and he kind of winces. I don't know. I didn't see it. Something hit me from behind.
Are there anyone in this room?
Is there anyone in this room?
No, you've only been in this room. You haven't.
No, I was downstairs
seen anybody
when I got hit, and I woke up here.
Is there anything on the bed, like a bedspread or anything?
Just double checking. No, there is a bed there with sort of a mattress, but there's no linens on it.
Well, follow me very carefully. Friend Gavin, point that in the other direction in case these assailants or raccoons come marching in.
Yeah, I tell you, this place is messed up. I don't know what it is. Like, I never saw no ghost that would tie a man up, but something's here for sure.
Yes, well, it's very unfriendly voices, at least.
Voices?
Well, one, anyway. And raccoons.
Let's see. I think that, there's a couple other rooms here, but, I was kind of scouting the place out before I went into any of the rooms, but I saw footprints leading into the north wing on this level.
Yes, the north wing. Well, we'll get there in good time. But perhaps, friend Ned, we should lower our voices just in case.
I don't suppose you guys have like any like extra clothes, do you? Because he's like literally, boxer shorts with the, got the red hearts on him and everything.
Not really. Well,
kinda
actually, I do a bedroll here. Take this and wrap this around yourself. You'll catch a draft
Yeah,
otherwise.
thanks, mister. Oh,
And don't bother giving it back. It's yours now. Fine.
well,
Monogrammed and
you guys saved my life, so I'm going to go ahead and not take offense at that.
good, excellent, very nice of you, Ned. Friend Ned. Just let's exit this room, perhaps, and
Yeah, sure.
hold careful to us, and we'll make our way out.
Hey, look, if we can find my stuff, I'd be glad to get it. Otherwise, I want to get out of here. If you guys are smart, you do the same.
Oh, there's the stairs. You can head
Well,
right
I'm
out.
not going to run out in my underwear.
I'm sure it's most likely just in the next room or something.
Well,
Curtain.
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's check the next room.
All right. On your way out, Gavin, your foot taps something on the floor, and you hear it sort of like ding, 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 ding. And you look, and actually there was a key just on the floor in the hallway.
Okay. I'll pick it up.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. He's clearly like looking around, sort of panicked too. I'll say that at this point your detect magic is starting to fade. Like maybe no, you know what? Like I feel like hasn't been that long. Maybe you have another little bit, but it's getting close.
All right, Ned. After you. Open up the next door for
you're
him.
making the guy with no weapons in his underwear go first.
No. Just stay
You're
here.
looking
friend
for your
Ned.
stuff. All right.
Be fine, Gavin. He's
I'll look
terrified.
in.
Trust me, I know how terrified feels like, and I understand.
He's terrified.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the voice, perhaps, but he got hit on the head by those nasty raccoons.
You guys, yeah, raccoons. Yeah, okay, sure, raccoons. He's definitely looking at you guys like, what are they talking about? But
Smitty told us about him. Maybe you know that bloke.
what?
Never
we've
mind.
Heard a few stories about this place.
I hadn't heard anything. I was from out of town. I was on my way into Saltmarsh. I just saw this place and it was raining, so I thought I'd try to get into shelter.
Where'd
Well-
you come from?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. Great city.
At
Nice.
least you're still dry. So there's that.
Well, yeah, I've been on that bed for a day and a half. I kind of dried off.
Well, that's something positive. Friend Gavin, please open the door.
So you
All right.
open this the next room over from the one on the
Yeah.
so that middle one. This room appears to be another dirty, decaying bedroom without furniture. Even viewed from the doorway, it's evident that the floor in here does not look safe. Some of the floorboards are missing and others are partially dislodged.
Oof. More nasty business.
No magic, I'm assuming?
No magic. You can both make like an investigation or survival check. To just
Both
kind of
attempt.
looking to see if there's anything of interest in the room.
15.
Remember, these are at disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
3, 4.
Oh, 15.
15. Okay. Yeah. So you realize that there are footprints in this room too, and they go along the edge of the room to the window and back.
Going to and back, to
Yeah.
and fro.
There's a set of footprints that goes to the window and one coming back from the window. So someone has gone both directions here.
Someone's been heading in and out.
Really? Where? I don't see anything.
Just
sure looks
footsteps.
dangerous.
Oh man, I just hope we can find my stuff and get out of here before they come back, whoever it is.
Perhaps they came in and went back out, so I mean, I can't imagine you'd go out a window and back in a window when you have serviceable stairs.
Yes, there was reason to avoid them.
So,
Do you go to the window,
Alright.
or are you just looking from the hallway?
yeah, I'm just looking from the hallway.
All right.
Like, I suppose there could be somebody hiding out there.
There's nothing that I can see of value in there. So let's just continue on, shall we?
All right.
So we
Next
can
door.
find his clothing, so that we can have him on his way.
So the third room on this wing, this bedroom has no furniture, but rubbish is scattered everywhere, and webs cover the walls and ceiling. From the doorway, you can see a glint of light in the fireplace from a small, highly reflective object. I'd say your detect magic is just getting to the end of its lifetime, but you do not see anything magic from the shape in the fireplace.
Well, at least there's something in the room. Something shiny over there, too.
Shiny.
We'll
But
walk
why-
into the room and tap the floor with my
Is this-
staff to make sure it's not going to crumble into anything.
Filled with webs.
The room, the floor does seem more stable in here.
Well, that's something.
So you're heading to the fireplace, Garen?
Yes.
All right. What are you doing, Gavin?
I'm going to stand at the door because the other room was not full of webs.
Okay. Yeah. Ned is staying with you.
Webs and rubbish.
Okay. So as you approach the fireplace, you see that the glint seems to be coming from some sort of a small crystal that is, half buried in the rubbish that's in there. But you start to hear and all of a sudden a swarm of spiders erupts from the fireplace. And they start to swarm all over you, but their attack roll is only a 12 to hit.
I managed to move my way out of the way.
Well, so they're swarming all over you, but have not bitten you yet. We're rolling initiative.
No. Oh, initiative is a skill roll too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
7
plus 3, 10.
Okay. All right. What was yours, Karen?
7.
7. Okay, so the spiders are actually getting the spiders are getting another attack first because they rolled initiative higher plus their surprise round. But it's still only 11 as the spiders are all over you, and I would imagine in your frightened state it is unnerving, let's say. But you've not actually felt any bites yet. Right now they're just crawling all over you. So the swarm is in your space.
Well, this is
All
something.
right. So, Gavin, it is your turn. Garen is covered with spiders.
Well,
And Ned behind you is just going, ah! 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 Ah!
so I will pull out. I have a couple daggers. Because, the bow doesn't really seem like it would be the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will try to scrape the spiders away from him with my daggers. And I have a 2-weapon fighting style.
Right.
So
So I would definitely rule that with a melee attack, you can target the spiders and not Garen, but it would be hard to do that with a ranged.
Yeah.
So...
Bullseye
And so this would be a disadvantage, right? So I can't do sneak attack or anything.
Rolls, I think attack rolls are usually treated as different than ability checks.
Well,
An ability check.
Whether it's a
Right.
frightened condition or some different frightened
Well,
effect.
the fright, it's I think
And it's not
technically-
attacking the thing I'm frightened of. So
You know what? You know what? No, this is You're still at disadvantage. Sorry.
Okay,
You're
that makes sense.
So you are already frightened, and you've
Yeah.
just had a swarm of spiders erupt all over you. It's like
This is not my
I'm
day.
just trying to put myself in your shoes and thinking, how
Right.
would I feel in that circumstance?
Okay, dagger.
Kill it with fire.
21.
All right, yeah. So that's still definitely hits.
Does
And I would say that the
8
spiders
points of
are
damage.
engaged with Garen, so I think technically you do get. Well, no, if you're at disadvantage,
It says
you
if
don't
you
get
had disadvantage, you don't get it. Yeah.
no sneak
yeah.
attack. All right, so what was
But
the damage?
8 points of damage.
Okay.
And the 2-weapon fighting style, right? So bonus, I can do another. I never actually do that. Melee in one hand, you can use a bonus action to attack with a different one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at disadvantage, it is not great. 14, actually.
Okay, 14 also hits.
Got lots of bonuses. It is 5 points of damage.
All right.
And that's all for me.
Yeah, so you have significantly reduced this swarm. It's less than half of what it once was, but there's still a bunch of them on him. Garen, you're up.
The quarterstaff will be the best thing. I can't cast. Oh, but they just beat them all away. I will use the quarterstaff to try to smack away a few of them here.
All right.
Wow, that is a 17 to hit.
That hits for sure.
Woo, woo. Smash it,
The
smash.
spiders that are literally crawling all over you. Yes, you hit them.
For 1 point of damage. So it's
One
like,
point. All right, yeah. As you guys are scrabbling with these fighters, you hear more of this, and you realize it's all over the walls too. They're coming out of the ceiling too. It's another swarm! So there are 2 swarms. One of them is still on you, Garen, and is going to try again to bite you. But they only get a 7 to hit, so no, they're not.
My scales are thick.
Yeah, they're not getting through. But the other one has just now is dropping off of the ceiling onto you, Gavin.
Yeah.
That's cocked. That's 14 to hit.
That is my armor class.
Okay, they hit. And that's the one that is not yet depleted, so that's going to be 1, 2, 6, 8 piercing damage from all these little spider bites.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's now your turn, Gavin.
All right. Well, I guess I will just attack the ones that are on me
All right.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a 10.
A 10 is a miss, unfortunately.
Bonus attack. It was even worse. This is 6.
Oh no!
Get him off me! Get him off me! Get him off me!
You both hear the door to this room slam shut.
Ah!
Damn it, Ned.
Bastard!
Former friend Ned.
Sorry, guys, but I don't even have any clothes on. I don't want spiders on me.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll be fine. No problem.
All right, so Garen, your turn.
Oh dear.
Fire, fire! Kill him with fire!
I don't do fire. So they're gathered around me,
So there's a swarm on you and another one, a separate one on Gavin.
and Gavin is how close to me?
I'd say next to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I mean, you can move.
I will move across
I'll come
the
with
room.
you, but you can move.
Yeah.
I will move across the room,
Okay.
just so I'm a bit of a distance away from Gavin.
Mm-hmm. And I think, strictly speaking, even though the verisimilitude is a little bit weird, in theory, swarms don't move with you when you move out of them.
Oh.
So you can move out of the swarm. It doesn't mean that it can't still move towards you and get on you again.
They're dodging on and off of you.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so like if they're sort of clambering up you and falling off and everything, you can sort of scramble out of the cluster of them.
Oh, okay. And there
But Gavin is still, enmeshed in his. Unless you wanted to try to move out of them after your attacks, Gavin. Did you? You could do that.
Yeah, well, I had used my bonus to do my second attack.
Well, but you have your regular movement.
I couldn't disengage. Oh, right.
I guess they do get
opportunity
attack.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Do you do that?
Because I probably would have, instead of trying to do the second attack, I would have disengaged with my bonus to be able to get free of them.
All right. Well, you missed both times anyway. Let's just move. Moving forward, you know what the rules are. You were caught off guard. Yeah. So okay.
Right.
So it's your turn, Garen. Are you moving?
So did Gavin move away from me or not?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No.
So he's got his own spiders on him still. You can move out of your spiders if you want. They'll take an opportunity attack.
Yeah, it's more that I don't want to hurt Gavin. Because he's my friend. Yeah, no, I can't hurt him. So I will proceed to smack away at these bastard little things with the quarterstaff again.
All right.
Although that 20 would have been funny, but no. That is still a 17.
17 hits, yeah.
All right. For 1 point of damage again. Because
Dang.
rolling low is important.
Yeah.
Might die to a pile of spiders. That would be hilarious.
All right. Oh, you're attacking your own spiders or the ones on Gavin?
The ones on me, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still frightened enough that's the point.
You're doing a one at a time thing. Like you're just hitting the end of the staff, just like. Okay. Are you moving out of the spiders or? I mean, it's up to you.
No, because they can't bite through my scales.
The room is small enough that unless you left the room, they could just get back up to you on their next turn anyway.
Fair enough.
But yeah, okay. So that makes it their turn again. So the spiders attacking you, Garen, get an 18.
Oh, damn it.
But this swarm is depleted, so it's only... Well, they rolled better. Oh, it's 6 piercing damage. Right. And then the ones attacking Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17.
That hits.
Yeah. They're rolling higher this time. That's 14.
Oh my god.
I go down.
Oh, dang! No!
This is going to be the end of us.
One more hit point than I had.
Oh, man. Good thing you guys found those healing potions.
Gotta use them somehow.
Yeah.
He's holding on to them right now.
Neither of you are healers. Yeah, so, that damage roll was almost max for all 4 dice.
I can tell.
Yeah. So that was the spider's turn. So it would actually be Gavin's turn now. Okay. So make it a saving throw.
All right. 19. One save.
All right.
Or one success.
Garen, it is your turn.
Blink.
You just saw your
bloody hell.
halfling friend just.
If I move slowly enough, will they come with me?
Do you want them to?
Yes.
I'll say yes then.
Okay. I'm going to move to the other side of the room.
Okay.
And if I can pick up kind of his swarm as well, if they're kind of disengaged, then I will do that as well. If not, then...
What means are you using to try to encourage them to do that?
Literally walking right through their swarm.
On the basis that he has dropped and they would try to be taking down the other regular target, I will allow that.
Okay. And once I've moved safely at least 5 feet away from Gavin, I pull out the shard of crystal that I use as my casting focus, I hope this works. And I cast Ice Knife at the ones that are on me.
Okay. So is that do they make a saving throw or is that an attack
So it's a
roll?
targeted attack first of all, and then a saving throw.
Okay.
So the targeted attack first of all. So the 20 would have been nice, but instead I take the 2, which makes the total very small, I think.
All right.
So that makes it 7. That's not bad.
7 misses.
Okay. Then they make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And I make one as well.
Is it both swarms, you think?
Within 5 feet of me.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, I would say that, yes. So, dexterity?
Yep.
That's a 12.
Okay. That's a fail.
And an 11, so they both fail.
Both fail. So I saved.
Okay.
So I'll take a quarter damage because I'm already resistant to cold damage.
Great.
And because it is, I didn't say it was a second level spell, so it's just going to be the 2d6. That is, wow, okay. That's 11 cold damage.
Okay.
Of which I take half and then half again, so 2.
Your original swarm is spider sickles. The other swarm is about half depleted, but some of them are still around. All right, so that is your turn. But I think that after that, they find the cold sufficiently unpleasant that you see the remains of that second swarm skittering back off into their little hidey places in the walls.
I will quickly move over to Gavin, who is holding on to that little vial, and hope that it's actually a vial of what we thought it was, and feed one dose to him.
Yep. So the potion of healing is this is just standard, so it's 2d4 plus 2. 2d4 plus 2. Yeah.
Do you want to roll it?
Yeah.
Gavin?
4 plus 4 plus 2. Max.
Nice.
10 points.
All right, good deal. So,
Successes all around.
So that's one dose. The vial you have still has 1 dose remaining. So yes, you two are both covered with spider bites. You can make another wisdom saving throw, though, if you want to try to get over your frightened condition.
No.
That was wisdom, right?
6.
Yeah. Still frightened.
Still frightened.
9.
Quite. So.
9. Yep.
9?
Still frightened. I think we, again,
It's even
like we can
worse.
just imagine you guys in the fiction here is that you got the crap scared out of you by this mystery voice. You were a little bit, like, maybe eased by your dealing with this other guy, but then you came into this room, and spiders! So many spiders!
What is it called? A hopeless number of spiders.
So
We need to leave this room quickly. I'm going to grab that thing in the friggin' fireplace because I've earned it.
You sure did.
It's probably just nothing more than a shiny rock, but I've earned it anyway.
Yeah, so I think, so you grab it. Hang on, let me...
Quickly before they come back
Where's
again.
this? Yeah, so you grab it and you both head for the door. You open it and you immediately find Ned standing there still in his underwear, just going, "Thank God you guys are okay!"
Punch him.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Unarmed strike. 18.
All right, hang on, I have to, what? Oh, well, he's unarmed, or, like, not wearing armor, so, yeah, that definitely hits.
Unarmed strike just says 1 point of damage.
Okay. Oh! Ow! Ah!
Now, friend Gavin.
Yeah, okay,
Hey,
so,
what?
like, I know we're all on edge here, but,
Out of the fucking way!
yeah, sorry about that, yeah, ow, but, like, I mean, look at me, like, I don't want... Okay.
No, I don't want to look at you. That's what the bedroll is for. Cover yourself up appropriately, man, before we all go blind.
All right. Yeah.
Now, friend Gavin, how do you feel? You look as badly bitten as I.
Yeah, you... Oof.
Perhaps
that knocked the wind out of me. I won't lie.
Indeed. Perhaps you should have the second dose then of that draft, just to make it more careful.
All right.
All right. I was gonna say you guys could take a short rest, but all right.
Hey, yeah, we can do that too.
For an hour.
I'm up to you guys. Whatever you want.
Right.
I'm just reminding you of that option.
4, 5, 6, 7.
All right.
Oh, much better.
Good. Perhaps from now on, you might go into the rooms first. I don't think I'm quite equipped for the rooms.
Incidentally, the crystal that you got is indeed a little crystal that is it's carved into a pleasing shape, but the crystal itself is not anything special. That you gather you could maybe get a couple of silver for it.
I'll definitely throw it at someone later.
All right, I guess we'll...
Perhaps west again.
Yeah, west and then north, right? Stay away from the west-west. That's... I still got a bad...
Well, I mean, the
feeling.
north is where the raccoon horde was.
Yeah, but it's not where that thing was
Yes, that's true.
downstairs.
That's true. We would be further away from it. Yes, that's good. Good thinking, friend Gavin. Good thinking.
So are you guys?
We'll just look in the first door. Yeah, first door north, in the north corridor.
Oh, so you are going?
Yeah, going that
First?
way, going west, and then turning north into the first corridor.
Okay, so are you leading the way? Gavin?
Yep.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I'd love to. 16.
That's a success, and so just before you get to the intersection where you could turn to the north, you hear the rotting wood beneath your feet, and you scramble backwards just as a 7-foot section of the balcony collapses.
Test the floor before you step onto the floor. Yes, this is the most terrible shambles of a building.
Yes.
Still,
Ned is still there, like clutching the bedroll around him. He's like, I'm really beginning to wish I hadn't come here at all.
maybe this is why they came in through the window.
Yeah.
So the gap is not too
Maybe.
long. You could probably jump it.
All right. Yeah.
It's about a 7-foot gap, which I think per jumping rules you can, if you have
Yeah.
a running start, you can easily jump up to your strength score. So can you do 7?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Close, but yes.
All right. Up and over.
All right. So Ned kind of hesitates and he's kind of just saying, so like, I'm asking for opinions here because like I could do that, or I could stay here. Like whatever you guys think. Like I don't want to.
No, if we find your clothes,
exactly,
we'll toss them over. We'll toss your clothes over. If you
So
want.
should I wait here or?
Yeah.
You know what?
guard the
I'm coming with
stairs.
you. I
There
don't want
we
to be
go.
by myself. And so he goes to make the jump too. He's coming after all.
Yes, well, yes.
All right, so you go ahead and you turn to that northern hallway and go to that first door on the right. There seem to be 2 rooms, and then another, like there's an open area beyond it. Like at the end of the hallway, you see stairs that probably lead to the attic, but there's 2 doors on the right first. So the first door... damp mold covers portions of the walls and ceiling in this large bedroom, and rubbish is strewn liberally around the floor. In the center is a single mattress that has been badly torn, from which stuffing protrudes. Under the window sits a large wooden chest, the timbers split and its lid closed.
Well, with caution,
Yes, I will
suggest moving forward.
slowly walk in.
Okay. Ned looks in it and is like, is that clothes in the chest? Are those my clothes?
One moment, we'll determine that when we are careful, closer. I mean, Gavin,
Yes, I'm being extremely cautious, so
All
I
right.
will
Go ahead.
check the chest to see if there's any kind of traps.
The chest is like broken open. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
got a closed
Gotcha.
lid, but like the wall is broken
Right.
behind. So it's you like
I'll just slowly open it. Yeah.
it does seem to have old, moldy, ragged clothes. That like Ned, as soon as you have it open, he rushes over and it just immediately looks forlorn. It's like, damn, I thought for sure. Like, boy, look at those
Well,
things. Those things weren't in fashion even when they weren't all moldy.
they're better than a birthday suit.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this Plan B. Because
Very
there,
well.
yeah. So there also seem to be some documents in here, but they're like
Oh.
they're so rotten as to like they're illegible.
Shame. Still, I suppose that means we move on. Yes.
Right. So the next room, you open the door, and this room appears to have been used for storage. A large, ill-made oak chest stands under the window, its lid closed. Elsewhere in the room lie 3 broken wooden chairs, 2 splintered wooden buckets, and a mildewed sack. Just inside the door is a heap of clothing. These garments have collected little dust, appearing to have been placed here only recently. And Ned immediately says, "Oh, thank God!" And he immediately like pushes through to like start
Careful,
dressing.
careful. Well, all right.
Congratulations.
He when you say that he freezes like. Is there something in here?
The floor might be somewhat
Ah.
unstable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind
Wouldn't
of
go too fast.
He prods it sort of gently, but it seems okay. So he starts dressing.
Yes,
All
well,
right, I
I'll
will
do that.
investigate the chest.
Watch in the hallway.
All right, so the chest is empty. The sack contains more drab, like rotting clothes. It's like a laundry bag, but left for 80 years or something, or however long.
What quality are Ned's clothing?
They look like sort of ordinary traveling clothes.
Oh, well, disappointing. But so there we go.
He expresses frustration that they took his short sword. It's not here.
Well, you're skilled with a short sword. I can't offer you one of those, but if you need to defend yourself, I suppose this will do. And I hand him one of my daggers.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that, but believe me, I think the best thing that I could do for you guys to make it up to you is if I could persuade you that we should all just leave right now. Like, I don't know what else is here, but after those spiders and whatever else hit me before, we don't know who's coming back. This place is not worth it. Let's just get out of here.
There's a certain prudence to that, I suppose.
There, by all
we could
means, be on your way.
reprovision and come back on another day, having not having suffered a raccoon attack or anything. Yes, perhaps that's best for now.
So,
I think.
are you guys?
All right.
You're not coming?
No, I think perhaps maybe we should just see him out of the building and then take a breath of fresh air outside, where it's not so musty and moldy. Just for a moment, a breath of fresh air. Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to ask me twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
creepy.
Okay, come on. Let's get out of here. This place is awful.
Yes. Let's
So
rush.
you have to, if you're going back towards the stairs, you have to kind of hop over that gap again.
Yeah.
But then you can descend the stairs and just going out the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So he's kind of he's got the dagger you gave him kind of out, and he's like looking around, like make sure nothing. He seems a lot braver now that he's got clothes on and he's got a weapon. So he's like looking around, making sure nothing's following you guys, but he's kind of comes with you to head out onto the porch. And he's like, "Oh God, never thought I'd see the sun again." Oh, so yeah, I don't know what I would have done if you guys hadn't come along. So thank you so much for that. But boy, that place, like, who knows what else they got in there? We should just go back to Saltmarsh.
Well, perhaps, well, just a rest, perhaps, friend Gavin, just a deep breath and out here in the open air where it's easy to relax and take a moment.
You head on your way, and you're welcome. Good day to you. Glad you're safe and sound and healthy.
You're not going back in there, are you?
It is the
I'm
duty
gonna
of the
sit a
day.
spell and think about it.
At the very least, I don't leave right yet.
You guys saved my life. I don't feel like I can just leave if you guys are going to go back in there.
Well, nonsense. You're missing a few things, and you've already spent a terrible time inside. It doesn't seem fair to ask you to come back in.
I would spend the rest of my life wondering what happened to you. You guys saved my life. I gotta return the favor.
Well,
I think we should all leave, but if you're staying, I'm staying.
I think I want to take a bit of air first before making any rash decisions.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. We should out here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting a short rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys.
Yeah.
Find a shady spot in the garden, or where are you going for this?
Someplace in the sun, I think, actually.
All right.
To warm my cold scales.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll say, with this short rest, I could have you make the multiple checks, but like after an hour, the frightened just wears off by itself.
Cool.
Yeah. So you are no longer frightened.
Cool.
Certainly, back out here in the sun with the fresh air, it does just starts to feel a little bit like, boy, the creepy elements of that house. Like, it's still looming over you, but it's a little easier to feel like, yeah, okay, the real world is still out here.
Yes, well, terrible place, this estate. I think once we've investigated it thoroughly, we'll have to recommend that it's destroyed, I think. That might be safest. It's infested, really, with raccoons and spiders. Yes.
So, hang on.
One hit.
What are your perception checks? Or passive perception, that is.
Passive perception -9.
Mine's 10.
Okay. So you guys are hanging out there for a while, and you're kind of in the garden, where it's a little overgrown, but you got sort of a sunny patch there. And towards the end of this of your rest, a family of giant weasels emerges from under the rose bush and tries to drag Gavin back into their burrow. So they are attacking, and what they're actually all trying to do is grapple you, Gavin. So these are giant weasels. They're like the size of a person. They are bigger than you, Gavin. So they're making, let's see, 4 checks here. So, so basically, you're contesting their grapple check. So for each of 4. So the first one is 11. Acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, much better.
So, do you beat 11?
24.
Yeah, okay. So, check number 2. Do you beat 19?
Acrobatics is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So, check number 3. Do you beat?
One
that's
is
a natural
15.
1. I think you beat that one. Okay,
15.
So that one, that's the clumsy weasel. And then one more. You beat 6.
18.
All right. So these weasels, you are suddenly swarmed by these 4 enormous weasels that are clawing at you, but you're just like squirming around, and they do not manage to sink their claws into you. But you got the impression that what they were trying to do was drag you back down underground into their burrow. So roll initiative.
Raccoon! Nat 20. There we go. 22.
16, 17, 18.
So 20, and then 18.
22.
18.
22, 18. The weasel's got a 6.
How about Ned?
No, he's rolling because he's got a weapon now. Ned rolls. Shoot, where's? I have his stats. Hang on. Da, 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 da. Now I have this dice roller with the like this dice tray with the felt on the bottom, but I feel like the more it's used, the more dice gets cocked in it.
It's getting divots.
Yeah. All right, come on. Okay, so he gets 10 for his initiative. Okay, so Garen, you're up first.
Blessed little raccoons. The one that's closest to Gavin, I will fire a ray of frost at.
Okay, is that a saving throw or
Targeted one.
Yeah.
So that's a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Ooh. Let's see. It takes 6 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 till the start of my next turn.
Okay. So it is not completely taken down, but that's a significant blow to it. It looks like it's suddenly shivering. There's frost kind of all over its fur, and it sort of just like freezes in place. Like, what just happened? All right, Gavin.
I was the weasel to go, oh no.
Yeah.
All right, so I will attack
Winter's
a
coming.
weasel.
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
That's next to my friend, so that I get my sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
What's my bonus for attack with my rapier? Is a +5. It gives me a 15.
15 hits.
Woohoo! Which is a 1d8. Does initial 7 points
Mm-hmm.
plus another 7's 14.
Yeah, so you killed that weasel.
And I will use my bonus action to hide.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
$13.
Okay. You think you're hidden.
All right.
Ned attacks the one that that you hit with the ray of frost. And he hits it, and yeah, he finishes that one off.
Hurrah! Huzzah!
And so then it's the weasel's turn, and the 2 remaining ones scurry back into their burrow under this enormous rose bush.
Take that, raccoons! Good friend Gavin, you were... Where did he go?
I'll pop out right from behind him.
Ah, yes.
Bastards.
Well, one theory confirmed.
So you guys do go ahead and get the benefit of your short rest, though.
Good.
The description, incidentally, of these weasels is that they are aggressive, and given the opportunity, will attempt to drag the smallest party member down into their burrow.
Well, what do you know?
The burrow-sized party member.
Uh-huh. All right, so
All right.
I have to speak
Once more into the breach.
you gotta be
Indeed.
kidding me, really? Like, you guys haven't had enough of this? I mean, come on. Like, ale's on me. Let's go back just down to Saltmarsh. That's gotta be better than here.
Ah, good friend Ned, you are, as you said earlier, penniless and without any means at the moment, so your offer, while generous, is not necessarily genuine, but when this is all over,
Well,
we
it's
should
like
have a
genuine. Like, I could work for it. I like, just because I don't have cash at the moment.
There's no need, friend Ned. If there's anyone to buy the drinks, it'll be me. Do not worry. As you can see, we can take care of ourselves. We're not snuck up on by...
Look, hey, you guys, look, I insist. Fine. You want to come back here? Come back tomorrow. Like after you've had like a real rest. Like it's going to be dark soon, and you want to be in this place after dark?
Well, light is easy to come by.
You guys can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah.
Sure. Was genuinely scared of something. 9.
7.
Yeah, you get the impression that he's really frustrated because he feels simultaneously indebted to you for saving his life, and now from his perspective you are going back into risking your life some more, and he's like, really?
Friend Ned, this has been an experience for you which has been quite harrowing, and I understand this. Look, not everyone has to go through such trials. I would recommend that you return back to the town, debt-free and guilt-free, and we shall endeavor to continue.
You saved my life. I can't just let you go back in there without helping, but, like, I'm gonna hang on to this if that's all right. He holds up the dagger.
Of course, especially until we find your short sword.
Yeah. Well, that would be nice, assuming we don't get ourselves killed. But yeah, okay, great. Great, we're going back to the creepy old house. It's fun. It's fun. We're gonna have a good time.
You are a true gentleman.
That's the
Ned.
spirit. It's an adventure.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
All right, so you're heading back inside?
indeed.
You're trying to pick back up where you left off? Because all you had checked out both rooms on the upper level in the north wing, but past the second room was the stairs to the attic, and you hadn't been in the west wing on the second floor or the north wing on the first floor.
What do you think, friend Gavin? I feel a little bit emboldened by our recent victory and a bit of rest and some fresh air. Maybe we should go back to the west wing.
New perspective. Yes, yes.
Now that we're aware of something being there, we can
Yes.
certainly be ready for whatever might come.
Steel. Loins are steeled.
Yes, well,
Girded.
I don't think that's quite right, but the poets will get
Aye.
it straight in the end. Our ends.
All right,
Gilded.
So, somehow I missed it. You're doing west wing on the second
So yeah,
floor
we'll go
first?
west. Yeah,
Okay.
ground floor west.
Ground floor west you've done already.
But we haven't gone through that.
Well,
You haven't
Well,
gone through the
hole
trap door,
was-
so you're going to the
Yeah,
trap
yeah.
door first
We're
then?
going to
Okay.
investigate that again because we are brave now.
That's right.
All right.
We are brave and renewed. Probably going to get scared again.
Okay, so I think so you guys make your way to that in that room, and Ned's
I'm
just
going to
said,
tell. I'm just going to tell Ned. Now, look, that you may hear something quite frightening. I'd like to assure you that it's probably not dangerous at all. It's really meant to frighten you, and it initially worked on the two of us. But I think with your forewarning and our bravery, shouldn't be a problem at all. But just be aware.
okay, if you say so. All right, any of you spooks or people pretending to be spooks
I
out there,
Wouldn't exactly do that.
It's a whole
though, but
magical
it's more of a
thing.
thing. Yes.
okay. So he's following you in there. You make your way to that. Let's see. You make your way to that trapdoor.
Perhaps, friend Gavin, one thing we might try. I saw no creature, only heard some noise. Perhaps with a bit of cloth stuck into our ears, we would be able to avoid this thing. What do you think?
It's worth a try.
Right. So we'll proceed to take.
So I'm gonna rule that because it makes the exact same sound in exactly the same way, and you know it's coming, you don't have to roll to be frightened of it a second time.
All right. Plugging our ears definitely worked. Great idea, Gavin. I'm glad I thought of it.
But it does absolutely do that. When you approach the trapdoor, once again, you get that, welcome to your death, mwahahaha. And Ned is like, just not look thrilled by that.
Yeah, it's
And it's like, okay, you guys, come on, we got one more chance here before you go down to the hole of death.
It's more of a warning, an empty warning, I think. Or at least, well, there must be something important down there.
Yeah, it's just to clear out the rabble.
Right. So frighten the raccoons.
Okay, so you open the trapdoor, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to find where it actually describes, like, is it steps? Is it ladder? What is it?
Large exploding buzzsaws.
Okay, the trap. um. Okay, yeah, I guess it's a ladder. It's a ladder down to the next level. And it does look like there is flickering light from the level below.
Oh,
That's interesting.
that's a bit of luck. I'll head down.
All right.
Do take care.
Okay, so as you get down to the lower level, I'm scrolling back and forth between two different areas. This torch-lit chamber was once a large cellar, but it has since been converted into living quarters. 10 crude beds stand along the south wall, each with a wooden locker at its foot. A long wooden trestle table ringed by rickety stools dominates the center of the room. Metal cutlery, cups, and dirty plates sit atop the table. A cook stove is installed near the table, and evidence of recently cooked meals sits in pots atop it. A large ham hangs from a loop of twine near the stove. A sturdy set of stairs leads to a trapdoor in the ceiling above, which you've just come down. There are 2 wooden doors in the east side of the room, and there are also 3 people with weapons drawn, about to attack. We're rolling initiative. Okay.
Oh, 7.
12.
Okay. All right. So 7, 12. Ned gets a big old Uno. Technically 3, but rolled a 1. And then what do these guys, these new guys, get? It's a 7 and a 4. Boy, they all rolled low. Okay. So, with your big old 12, Garen, you are actually first. So basically, what you probably perceive is you watch Gavin descend the stairs, and then as he kind of gets to the bottom and is looking around, you hear voices down there say, "Get him!"
Oh dear. Well, that's not good. Let's see. Well then, that's never good. At least they didn't go and climb all over him. But if I step down the stairs part way, can I see them?
Ladder.
Well,
yeah.
with
Well,
the
it's
stairs going up and ladder going down.
So what I'm going to rule is it's a ladder, then turns to steps. Like it's a short ladder, and then it becomes steps.
Ah, okay.
So it's like narrow at first in the ladder, and then it becomes steps.
All right.
Yeah,
Go
but
down
yeah,
perhaps to the stairs.
you can use your movement to get to the bottom if you want, or to you can go like part way down to where you have line of sight if you want.
That's what I'm hoping. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But the problem is, of course, since the line of sight is on the bottom, you don't really like have half cover and still be able to see. You follow me? Like if you
But if it's
had
only
half cover, you couldn't see.
But if it's only half movement, I can leave.
True. Yes. Yes. That's true. So yes, as you descend in, you see the description of the room that I did, and you see these 3 humans in wearing like leather armor. Yeah, leather armor and with short swords drawn.
Well, they shouldn't be here, so I'm going to assume they're hostile. And I will.
They also did just say, "Get him."
Well, there's
So,
that. I will once again hold forth my crystal, this time stare deeply into it, and cast a third level ice knife at the one closest.
all right.
Are they within 5 feet of each other? I'm kind of assuming they're fairly close to each other. Or within 10
they're
feet or so?
spread out, but I'll say that you can get 2 of them within that
All right.
range.
Will do then.
All right.
That is a 1 on my attack roll, so I do not hit him. But the 2 that are there do still have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so one guy gets an 8, so that's going to fail. And then the other guy gets a 10.
All right, both fail, so they do both take 7 cold damage as it explodes.
Okay.
And then I am going to beat feet back up. I understand that Gavin is very good at extricating himself from dangerous situations, which I suspect he'll be running very quickly too.
Okay, so do you go all the way back up?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was Garen's turn. Gavin.
All right. So I guess I'm surrounded by bad guys.
Yeah. So one is taking that. 2 of them took that frost damage. One of them looks pretty bad. The other is a little better, but they both, that was a significant damage to the 2 of them both.
So I think I'm gonna bonus action disengage,
Okay.
and with my thieving ways, I can run up the ladder full speed without any impediment,
All right.
and book back out.
Like, never mind. All right. Okay. So you used your disengage
really just
bonus
yeah,
action. Okay.
Bonus action, and then my action to move up. Well,
No, you move to move up.
Hmm?
You can
So-
still take your action.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
you
was
have
gonna say,
an
if I
action.
could-
What would you?
if
want
I'm
it to be?
disengaged from them, then yeah, if I can get, then I can do a ranged attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. Why not?
Clearly we're in the right. I'm a noble.
What ranged attack is this?
A short bow.
Okay.
5.
Are you targeting one of the ones hurt already or no?
Sure. I don't think it matters. I only got a 10.
Okay. Yeah. 10. 10 doesn't hit.
Yeah. Scramble the rest of the way.
All right. Okay. So you
Not
make your way back up
raccoons.
to the top, and then as you make your way back up to the top, what you see is Ned standing there holding the dagger and saying, "I tried to get you guys to leave," and he attacks you. He's going after you first, Gavin. He's attacking you twice with the dagger. Let's see.
Turncoat.
Let's see. I think because you're surprised, he also gets sneak attack. Okay, so that's going to be
There.
a 23 to hit,
Wow.
and then only an 8 for the second one. But the first one is what you needed for this sneak attack. So that's going to be 5 piercing damage and 8 sneak attack damage. So 13 total damage as he goes after you with a dagger. All right. Garen, your turn again.
That sniveling turncoat after I gave him my bedroll. Well, I'm not happy with that. Let's see.
I think he gave the bedroll back when he found his clothes.
Well, I didn't want it back. It was soiled at that point, but that's not the point.
There.
Let's see. How
There's
about-
other reasons to be mad at him, I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to, let's see, I haven't done this one yet, and I want to try it. No, I don't really need to. Instead, I'm going to, let's see, how about, Oh, how mean do I feel like being? I am going to do a ray of frost at him.
Okay.
So that one is a ranged spell attack. That is a 15 to hit.
15 does hit.
All right. That is, oh, there we go. 8 points of cold damage.
Nice.
And his speed is reduced by 10. And I proceed to back away across the room, looking at him angrily. You turncoat, you common thief, you deceiver.
I tried to get you to leave.
We were trying to help you recover your things. Foolish.
So that's about all we get from that turn. Gavin, you're up.
All right. Well, we are fully engaged. He's right in front of me, so I will do my regular rapier attack.
All right.
Do that or no? Yeah. And a natural 20. Hey.
Oh.
All right. Nice.
Let's see. 1d8. +3 is 15 points.
Ooh, yeah. He's not down, but boy, he's hurt bad.
And my bonus dagger attack. Yeah. I'm so indecisive. Let's see, 14, 14.
14 hits.
All right. Which is 5 points of slash.
All right.
Piercing.
So, you finish him off. Does he have time for a few last words? Or do you just? All right. I think as you just get him and he's clearly like bleeding out. And he's kind of staggering backwards. It's just like, you guys are just looters. No, you're not better than me.
Well, at least we weren't liars.
Breathe better.
Smell better.
Yeah. This is where the guys that were downstairs follow you up the ladder.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Right?
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. So the first two that are one kind of bad guy come out, and they've got scimitars, and so I think they see you standing over Ned, and so those two guys are going after you, Gavin. That's an 8 and then a natural 1. They're so shocked! Gavin! Or Ned! No!
No, wait, they recognize Gavin? This isn't good.
No, they recognize Ned. It's like, you guys, he was just 2 days away from retirement! He has a kid in a wheelchair! Okay. Yeah, so, and then the other bad guy also climbs out, and he has a longbow around his neck, around his like shoulder, and I was just like, does he get out his longbow in this circumstance? Probably not. Okay, so he's coming after you with a short sword, Garen. Oh, that's 17 to hit.
Oh no, that hits.
Mm-hmm. And it's 8 piercing damage.
Oh, that hurts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You bastard.
All right, that's their turn. So it would be Ned's turn now, except Ned's
dead.
Ned's dead. I just typed Ned's dead into my notes. So Garen, though, it is your turn now.
Indeed. They're not clustered together anymore, are they?
The two that attacked Gavin are near each other. The third one is near you.
Yes, it's not close enough. All right, then. I will cast Frostbite on him. As a cold mist erupts from my crystal and forms over him, he must make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. That's a 12?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. So he takes 2 points of cold damage and has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll before the end of their next
Okay.
turn.
Yeah, he's still up, but you can see he's shivering. His hands are shaking. Teeth are chattering.
Freeze, evildoer.
All right, Gavin.
So they're both next to me.
Two of them are next to you. One is near Garen.
You've got this, Gavin. I believe in you, friend. Please.
I think in that case, I'd want to disengage as a bonus action with the ones that are near me
Sure.
and charge over and attack the one on Gavin.
Okay.
Because then he's within 5 feet and I can get my sneak attack back.
Sure do.
So. $13 to hit.
13 does hit. Just hits.
So that's 7 plus 12 points total.
All right. Yep. They're dead. There's a little bit of lingering teeth chattering. All right. It's actually hard to make your teeth chatter when they're not really chattering.
Yeah.
It's not an easy muscle movement to do. Anyway, all right. So
All right.
that's your attack.
That's me. Turn around and face the other guy.
So those two other guys are both coming after the two of you, one against each of you. Actually, I think given that they just saw you take out the other guy, what they do is they sort of back to the far side of the room, and they pull out light crossbows. And so each of them is firing at one of you. So first against Garen. Oh shoot, that's a crit.
That's gonna take me down.
Might. Oh boy. Sure does when I roll like that. That's going to be 14 piercing damage.
I am down.
Oh no. And then the other one is attacking you, Gavin. That's a 16 to hit. That is only 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
All right. That's their turn. All right, so it would be Garen's turn.
All right. That is a nat 1. 2 fails.
Oh, dear. Okay. Gavin.
2 fails.
Yeah.
Oh, natural. Yeah, correct.
This is specifically why I was like, you could have just gone to the short rest before drinking the other half of the potion, but all right.
Right.
Yeah. It's like there's a couple more drops in there. It's still good. No.
Right. It's all right. It's really, it's okay. Is there anything I can try to hide behind?
Well, they are basically in the corner of the room now, so the place that you could theoretically hide is down the trapdoor.
Oh, there you go. I can
come in.
jump down there and then, yeah, exactly.
All right. Are you hiding down there? Is that what
Actually, no. Yeah, I'll just scramble to the bottom
Okay.
and knock an arrow and hold it until I see something and shoot it.
Okay. Well, all right. So,
I guess, well, actually, so I could attack them first and then duck down. Yeah. Duh.
yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll attack the one on the
What how are you attacking?
with the short bow. And then
Okay.
I will duck down afterwards. So
One of them is more hurt than the other.
okay. So yeah, the one that's more hurt.
Okay.
18.
18 hits.
Eight points.
Yeah, you killed that guy.
Punk. And then I'll scramble down to the bottom.
All right. So I think it's the bandit's turn now, and so what you hear, Gavin, is, hey you, come back up here, or I finish off your friend.
Parlay then. Coming up.
All right.
Start coming up the ladder.
Okay.
And peek at the top.
He shoots a crossbow at you. Yeah, so that's only an 8 to hit, though.
Oh, miss.
Yeah. So I think we need another saving throw from you, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That is a 4.
No!
Oh!
But you don't see that happen, Gavin. Instead, what you just see is
He's
the
fine.
guy who said, you said parlay, and he said, yeah, sure. And then he shot at you. So
I'm going to shoot back at him.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 17.
17 hits.
5 points piercing.
All right. So he is hurt, but not down. All right. Are you like ducking back down?
Yeah.
Okay. So he is. So okay, you're ducking back down. Do you have enough to do a hide still?
So yeah,
I'll
because
say
I didn't
you
do
do.
a bonus action, so yeah.
I'll say you do. So you can try to hide.
Do a stealth check, which is plus.
There's a bunch of like
24.
tables and stuff down there. Yeah. Okay. So the guy pursues you down, and from your hiding spot, you see him emerging from the stairs, and it's his turn still technically, but he's just like, "All right, come on out. We're gonna parlay like you said."
So then I'll
Yeah. So
shoot
now
the
your turn though.
longbow.
Yep.
Ba-doom. Say 24 to hit.
For sure. Yeah.
7 points.
All right. That kills him.
Oh. And then I would rush back up the ladder to Garen.
He's
To
not
check for
breathing,
pulse.
man. He's not breathing.
Oh. Good. No.
Yeah.
CPR. Nothing.
How about
Oh.
this? For the sake of plot, I will say that you are so distraught that you have a you plead to the heavens, and something up there hears you and offers. You may exchange 1 hit point of yours for 1 hit point of his.
Oh, gladly.
You are awake at 1 hit point, Garen. Not dead anymore. But you get just the vaguest feeling. It's somewhere, somehow, something has granted you a favor and might expect one in return.
Now, friend Gavin, let's not weep and wail.
No, you were that was horrible.
I got the bastards, I did. Well, good. Let me take this crossbow bolt out of my chest. Well, now we know at least a part of the mystery of this place. Bandit using it. Different kind of bandit than your animal one. Perhaps we should gather a little bit of evidence and then call it a day.
Yeah.
So I have the
We see what they had in
the
their
cellar
lair.
map too that I can put up here. Hang on, try to get that pulled up on here.
At least see what they were doing down here.
Looks like quite an organization. Looks like they've been here for a while. Moved in.
All right.
Must have made peace with raccoons.
So, you guys are in this big horizontal rectangle room. That's where the trapdoor came down. You see where the stairs are near the upper left of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the room you're in, and I'll reread the description here for you. Is that you... this torch-lit chamber was once a large cellar, but it has since been converted into living quarters. 10 crude beds stand along the south wall, each with a wooden locker at its foot. A long wooden trestle table, ringed by rickety stools, dominates the center of the room. Metal cutlery, cups, and dirty plates sit atop the table. A cook stove is installed near the table, and evidence of recently cooked meals sits in pots atop it. A large ham hangs from a loop of twine near the stove. A sturdy set of stairs leads to a trapdoor in the ceiling above. There are 2 wooden doors in the east side of the room.
Well, they really moved in. It's not a very safe way to store your ham, though. Still, looks like it's tasty.
Do you guys want to try to do a
Let's
short
go.
rest down here? Or
10 beds.
There are only 3 of them, plus Ned. What a shame that that fool turned out to be... I don't know what the hell he was, to be honest. I mean, to voluntarily be tied up without your clothing and then wander about yelling, it seems rather... I don't know. Primitive.
Maybe lost a bet.
Well, maybe.
maybe he tries to scare people away.
So,
And then when it's obvious that he hasn't successfully gotten you to leave, he makes a lot of noise so his buddies know you're coming.
What an excellent theory I've just had. I shall write it down.
to check the... I guess check the footlockers and see if I can get an idea of how many beds are actually used.
Sure. So, let's see, where's my... the foot lockers are all locked. So, if you want to go ahead and try opening one of them.
Sure. 15.
That opens it. It does seem to contain like personal effects, like some changes of clothes, and there is a coin purse inside. When you check inside, it has 7 gold pieces and 15 silver pieces.
All right.
You guys
Lock
can make an
those.
investigation check about the just to check like what else is of interest about the room, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit over here and recover. I roll a 3.
Okay.
11.
Okay. Yeah. So the food looks recent and unspoiled. As far as you can tell, the beds, like, you know, you don't have any sense of, like, where they slept in last night
Right.
or what, but they all seem to have some degree of use.
What about like the food, like if there's plates and settings or portions for how many people?
As far as you can tell, there does seem to be enough to support 10 people.
Okay.
Well, that means that there must be others either around the building or heading back soon. Maybe at once, perhaps I would take Ned's advice. And we could head back to town and find the local reeve.
I'll say, because you were checking around the room, when you look at the 2 doors that are on the eastern side of the room, one kind of goes to the north and one that's further east. The door to your left appears normal, but the one ahead on the east wall has a wooden bar across it, held in brackets on the frame and the door itself, and the word danger is scrawled on that door in the common tongue using chalk. And it looks a little bit like the bar is bent, like something tried to push the door open from the other side. Are you trying to unlock any of the other footlockers?
Sure. Yeah. I'll,
All
I'll,
right.
I'll start heading down the line. Why not?
I will allow that you can just, if you just take the time to do it,
Mhm.
you can unlock all of them, and they all
Cool.
actually have the same basic stuff in it. So you
Would,
can multiply by 10 that 7 GP and 15 silver pieces.
would it take approximately 6 minutes to do each one of those, all 10 taking an hour, that I can
Well,
sit and rest over
like
here?
if he's taking his time and you guys want to take a short rest, then yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you guys can call it a short rest. I'll even allow that Gavin can call it a short rest too. I don't know how many hit dice you rolled before.
Yeah, I'd only rolled one before, so
Okay, yeah, so you guys can call this a
got a
short
couple.
rest. And as part of the short rest, Gavin finds unlocking footlockers relaxing.
Well, they seem to have something locked up in here, and that seems like a better idea than opening it. Still, I wonder what they have.
So there's one regular door also.
Do you care to take a look at this one, friend Gavin?
Yeah.
No writing of danger on it,
Yeah.
so it seems
So
all right.
you guys hadn't heard any activity or anything since since you've been hanging out here. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I think you were right, friend Gavin.
Hmm.
Nothing more than raccoons of one kind or another. Bad flooring and a little bit of terrible management, but
So you're checking the normal door or what?
Yeah.
What are you checking? Okay. So this door. Wait, does it say that there was locked or no? No, not locked. Unlike the barracks, this small room holds comfortable furnishings and appears to be well cared for. A comfortable-looking bed in the northwest corner has a wooden locker at its foot. A small wooden table stands against the east wall with a padded leather chair beside it. On the table, a brass 3-branch candlestick with 3 burning candles provides the room with bright light. The candles, though not fresh, are far from spent. Under the table is a small wooden box and an unlit bullseye lantern with a movable shutter over the lens. On a shelf above the table sit 3 books. In the northeast corner is a closed wooden wardrobe.
books. I'll wander over to the book.
All right. One of them is a treatise concerning the demigod Luz and its minions. One of them is a naval almanac listing tide times for the area of coast around Saltmarsh. And the third one is a volume of erotic poetry fully illustrated.
I think this one's for you, Gavin.
And so as you are looking at these books, the demigod treatise does have a bit of parchment sticking out of it like a bookmark.
I carefully open it up to keep the page open and look at this piece of paper.
Yeah, once again, the page in question doesn't seem to have any particular significance, but what this bit of parchment has on it is a few simple words and phrases in the common tongue and their equivalents in Goblin. And it has words like stop, fight, lift, come, and so forth.
Do they seem to be associated with anything? They're not a phrase or a sentence. They're just they're individual words.
It just basically looks like it's like a glossary for pigeon goblin.
How odd.
I'm gonna try to open the footlocker.
All right.
I can its feet.
So the footlocker. Hang on. It does say there's a footlocker. And I'm just trying to find where it talks about the footlocker.
Only contains feet.
I mean, because there's other stuff in here, but like I'm. Okay, wooden locker at its foot, but then it doesn't. So yeah, there's nothing. I guess the foot locker just has clothes in it.
Just like the other ones.
Yeah, but there's also still the wooden box that was under the table and the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And
I'll check the
so
box for
then I will go to the wardrobe.
anything scary.
So the wardrobe has in it. I just had it. Where is it?
It's right beside the footlocker.
Yeah. Okay. Inside the wardrobe is a fancy floor-length oilskin coat that the sleeves contain numerous pockets that are currently empty, and it is trimmed in iridescent green silk.
Does it look like a robe of stature or
No, so it's an oilskin coat, so it's like waterproof, like someone who might be out in the weather a lot. But it's very fancy. And like I said, many little hidden pockets in the sleeves and stuff.
how very strange. How gaudy, really.
So in the little box, you investigate it first, you said?
Yes.
What was the roll?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead and roll it again.
27.
Okay, yeah. There doesn't seem to be any traps or anything like that on it. And in fact, let's. Okay, yeah. So that, and in fact, it's just a very ordinary little box. It contains 12 candles, flint and steel, and a piece of parchment that details. Where is this note? That details something which I'll describe here in a second. Okay, you realize that it is a description of how to use that bullseye lantern with the shutters on it to signal something. If you do long, short, the signal is it safe? And the indication is that usually it would be the other person asking that, so it's not, you wouldn't send that so much as you would receive that message. And if you reply with short, long, the reply, that means everything is safe. And if you do long, ready to unload, come to the ship.
So,
Yeah. So
some sort of tools of a trade.
Yeah.
Smugglers. Or some sort of skulkers.
Well, this house is built right near the sea.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the top of the building and wave their light around.
It does occur to you now that that one window is the one that points out over the ocean. It's on that side. So let's see. Are you guys doing any other like general investigation of the room beyond the specific?
By the way, around, might be something under the bed.
All right. You can both go ahead and make an investigation check if you like.
Well, we can both go ahead and roll. Making them is a whole other entirely.
12.
I get a 13.
Well, the two of you working together like a good team find that under the table there's actually a hidden compartment, and when you open it up, it appears to be a spell book.
Oh, look at this. What sort of spells are involved here? I don't normally work with these ones.
Yeah, so I would say that, you wouldn't be able to, like, cast them. But I think if you make an Arcana check, you might be able to at least tell what the spells are, like what they would be able to do.
Seems like such a tedious way to do things. 13.
I think that's enough. They're labeled, in kind of a shorthand. That's what you're decoding here. So what you see is that there are spells for Charm Person, Color Spray, Magic Missile, Silent Image, Magic Mouth, and Scorching Ray. And I think at this point you might also realize that the illusion spell that made that voice on the trapdoor is probably that Magic Mouth spell.
Ah, yes. Well then, are there illusions about the place? And are there such things to keep people away? So, what we've seen so far, the 4 of them, including Turncoat Ned, none of them used any magic. So whoever's in charge, and I presume from the fancy room that they're in charge, has not been seen yet. Also, something to do with the naval. I mean, the navy, the water, not your naval.
Right.
Well then. Curious or curious? You know. I'm starting to think we need to go face the raccoon room. Undoubtedly, they'd have a trick like this thing, perhaps, or some other illusion of vision.
I more prefer that than the danger room.
Or the attic. We think that room of a window looking out over the sea.
So that's probably where they signaled. If they do some sort of smuggling business.
One thing you do know about where this house is, though, is that it's way up on a cliff. So, the house itself wouldn't have anywhere, for a ship to come right up to it. Because, the water is, well below.
Well, there must be some sort of local charts that they work with. Haven't found anything like that yet.
No,
well, you found the almanac that has tide times for the coastal area.
Right. Looking at those, what sort of tides would we expect about right now?
Right now, it is moving towards low tide. It's about halfway between high tide going to low tide.
That's probably significant in some way, but I'm not sure exactly how. So, now what about the danger room? What do you suppose they keep in there?
Something that doesn't want to be in there, judging by this bent bar.
There was no noise or voice of any kind behind the door, was there?
Nope.
No, but even dangerous things sleep.
Some. Well, we have a bit of this house left to investigate. But otherwise, I think we have enough evidence to present to the magistrate or Reeve. I'm back with a posse. I believe that's the name of it.
All right.
Gang or something.
Right.
So, do you want to check the rest of the house, or
Check the raccoon room.
Yeah.
Once again, keeping something in our ears just in case.
Okay, so as you go back up to the ground floor, and you're heading towards the that north wing, then. So as you immediately go back up that hallway, let me see if I can. There we go. So you're on the ground floor. So there's a room on your right and a room on your left, and then a room straight ahead, and then the hallway turns right to go out to that back door.
Right. I think we said that back door is the one that our friend Smitty went in.
Right.
Yeah, and so he
Right.
said that
I'll do the
went right to the
tests.
kitchen.
All right. Perhaps you could find your way to sneak a bit, friend Gavin, and I will keep my distance so as to ready my spells should we see anything.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Do a little stealth action.
So, as you are, where are you sneaking to? Just to kind of look around the corner, and where are you going in?
Yeah, and listen if there's anybody.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check and a
sneak and
perception
listen.
check.
So let's see. Stealth would be 23.
Okay.
Perception is 12.
Okay. You don't. I mean, if you're just kind of in the hallway still and listening, like at the doors, you don't hear any activity.
Okay. And I will, I guess, come back down to the first door on the right.
Okay. So you enter that door, and you see two stuffed armchairs standing near the fireplace of this room. The covers of both have been torn and the stuffing has been pulled out, but the wooden frames are intact. A broken table lies on the floor near the north wall. You can make a perception or investigation to look around the room, see what else you might see.
Look around with an 18.
Okay. You see that there is one of the stones on the chimney above the fireplace looks like it doesn't quite match the others, like it's a separate piece.
Curious. We'll go check it out.
All right.
Feel around the edges. If it pushes in or pulls out.
It slides out, and there is a hidden compartment in there, and out swarms a swarm of spiders! They roll a 4, but they are attacking you.
Miss. Not again!
So, alright, so how are you responding? We'll go to initiative if we need to, but...
I mean, I guess... What do I try to do this time? It's a small room.
So, how about this? What I will do is that I will let you make a dexterity check to try to grab what was in the compartment and then run out of the room and slam the door.
Right on.
I'm looking for a 15.
Regular dexterity is an 18.
All right, you did it. So the spiders are swarming all over you, and you're like, oh crap. But you grab the stuff and you get out there and slam the door, and there's a couple of them dropping off of you, but you're like, stamp them on the floor. And then you hear them skittering all over the door on the far side.
Spiders.
Spiders again, friend Gavin. I seem to like this place way too much. Definitely infested.
So it is a wooden box that you have retrieved here. Inside, there's 30 copper pieces, but also 2 small pouches of some kind of powder.
Mean anything to you?
You can make an intelligence check, Karen.
Would it be Arcana or just...
Yeah, Arcana. Sure.
Doesn't matter, I rolled a 2, so
Okay,
5.
yeah, you're not sure.
Undoubtedly something important in an alchemical ritual. What? I have no idea. But into the pocket it goes.
Yep. I'll go ahead and tell you that the other room across from this one is a dining room. At one time, a long table stood in the center of this room. Now it lies broken on the floor. A broken chair sits against the wall between the windows. And there is a heap of broken dishes in the northwest corner. And then the DM notes for it are, there is nothing else of note here. So, moving on.
At least there were no spiders.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
door to the north.
All right. This kitchen is dirty and damp with patches of gray mold and cobwebs on the floor, walls, and ceiling. In the southwest corner is some iron cooking equipment with a chimney above. Next to it, under the window, is a cracked and discolored stone sink. To the right of the sink, a small closed wooden cupboard is fixed to the wall about 5 feet above the floor level. Against the far wall, a flight of wooden stairs leads upward from west to east. The woodwork of the staircase is decayed, and a few of the treads are missing. And then,
Right.
it doesn't describe it, but there's also an open doorway to the scullery to the east, which this room displays the effects of damp and decay more than most. Mold grows in patches on the floor, walls, and ceiling. A large copper cask, split, discolored, and empty, stands under the window with a small heap of crockery shards on the floor beside it. Stairs lead down into what is presumably a cellar.
Another cellar. You know, the one thing we haven't found, aside from finding a few empty rooms, is an alchemy lab.
True.
Strange.
You hadn't gone in the west wing on the second floor yet, but
True.
just saying.
True.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the same basement as the other?
I mean, I would imagine.
You can make an intelligence check if you want.
Okay. Oh, 17.
You know that the part of the house that you're in now, the room that you were in before in the cellar, didn't extend this far north.
Well, no raccoons yet. Plenty of spiders. We'll probably find more spiders in there. But it might be worth checking out, I suppose.
And then we get the authorities.
Well, there is a room upstairs we didn't look into.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Let's head down.
All right. So, as you are heading down the stairs, who's going first?
I guess I am again.
Friend Gavin can hide well.
Yeah. As soon as you take your first step on the top stairs, all of a sudden, screams fill your head. Ah! Blood-curdling screams, and both of you need to make another wisdom saving throw.
Now, we had plugged our ears, if that
Are you
makes any
walking
difference.
around with your ears plugged?
Damn right.
You're talking to each other and stuff, though.
Closely. Probably shouting at each other, actually.
I didn't make you roll the second time because you were expecting it in a specific place, and it actually did the exact same thing a second time.
True.
You didn't see this one coming.
Well,
I think
Smitty did tell us
How
there
about
was
this?
something that's
I
screaming
will
at
allow
us.
you to roll with advantage.
Okay.
I'm very generous, aren't
What?
I?
Yes.
You are.
Most generous and kind. What is the saving throw? Wisdom?
Wisdom, yes.
Oh, dear.
13.
That's a
10.
success. 13 is
10.
a success, 10 is not. So you are once again frightened in the same manner as before.
Nope, something worse than spiders. Never mind.
What? No, it's fine.
I'm backing out to the great hallway.
Yeah, so other than the sound of the
What?
screams, nothing else seems to happen.
You want? Well, all right. I'll.
Maybe you hadn't better go that way. Just saying.
Okay. Backing away.
Second
I'm
thought,
not
your
gonna
idea of
push
going to the
anything.
authorities might be a good idea. Plenty of evidence. We're good.
Head back up.
All right, going upstairs.
Yeah. Do you want to leave and come back, or
Rather torn, actually.
finish a reconnoiter?
Well, if we go upstairs and to the west, it won't be anywhere near that thing.
Yes, opposite.
There's something to be said there, yes. I suppose I could be convinced. Yes, I think, friend Gavin, you've convinced me.
All right.
All right, so you guys hop
back up.
over the
Hop over the pit.
yeah the so heading for the west wing. Then so there
I
are
will,
two doors.
Make sure that every step along the way I'm using my staff to tamp the ground in case it falls through again.
I gotcha. No
Not
more
quite.
getting you with that trick.
No, God, no.
All right. So there's two doors on
first
the
door.
left in that wing. So the first one is you open it and rubbish is scattered around what was once a fine guest bedroom. There is evidence of rodent infestation and webs hang in the corners. A 4-poster bed stands against the wall opposite the fireplace. Its woodwork is worm-ridden, and the curtains that once screened the bed are torn and stained. There is no bed linen, but the bed is mostly intact.
Raccoons and spiders, or spider raccoons, I think not.
Spaccoons.
Not a fan.
Yes.
Rackers.
Guess to investigate
Rackhooters?
the fireplace.
Not getting better.
All right. Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Look for anything nasty. 19.
You check all the cool places that they could hide some sort of a secret compartment and they don't find anything.
No spiders.
Good.
That's
good.
a win.
Yes.
All right.
Nothing
I'll take
shouting
it.
at me. That's very good. And now I will wedge like pieces of cloth in my ears just in case, because I've been stuck into this too many times.
Head to the
Okay.
next door.
All right. So in this room, what was once a fine master bedroom now stands decayed. Some of the floorboards are missing, and there is rubbish scattered around. A tall wooden wardrobe stands against the wall opposite the fireplace, its door closed.
All right.
Yes,
The wardrobe.
I think it's time for me to have a bit of extra sight, so I once again will cast
Yeah.
Detect Magic.
Okay. You do not detect anything magical in this room.
And just across the hall in the other foiled room?
No.
All right. Still, it's good to know. I mean, it's good to know. Very good.
Yeah.
Keep moving. Kevin?
Yeah. So inside the wardrobe, there's a pair of old cracked leather boots and a ragged stained cloak hanging on a peg. And the cloak is tooled with a design of coiling ivy leaves.
That's very nice. Some sort of nobility. Can't see it from here.
Fancy, yeah. All right.
Still, no alchemy.
Guess, investigate the rest of the room, looking for any other.
Okay. Do you touch the robe or investigate that, or Garen can see that it's not magical.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll check it. So, see if there's anything in it.
All right. As you open it up, you realize that hidden in some of the denser folds is some kind of a mold, and it suddenly spores poof out. And so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 15.
15 is a success. So yeah, you are not poisoned, but you realize immediately that that stuff's dangerous.
Black mold, very dangerous.
Yellow,
Danger.
actually, but otherwise, yeah.
Very dangerous. Ugh, nasty stuff.
Are you all right? Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Maybe leave that alone.
Yeah, you don't. So you don't really find anything else of interest in this room.
Nothing.
Well, might only be one room left. I suppose we should take a look at it. Quickly? Yes?
All right.
Yeah. So
Why not?
The attic and then the the part of the cellar that you haven't seen are basically
Well,
other
yeah.
places you know.
Is
of
there not
that
a big
haven't
room
been
at the
yet.
end of this hall?
Not this one, but the north hall. You checked the first two rooms, but didn't continue to the end of the hall
Yeah.
where the stairs
Oh,
to the attic
right.
would be,
Right.
and the stairs that go back down to the kitchen.
Right. All right then.
Let's check the attic.
Yeah, so if you head to the end of that hallway in the north room, you do see the stairs that go back down to the kitchen. And where is the... and then along the north wall of this area, a staircase descends to the ground floor of the rear of the house. The treads appear to be loose and perilous. Another staircase along the east wall climbs to the upper level, but this stair has mostly collapsed. Only the lowest 6 steps are still intact, and there is no easy access to the hole in the ceiling where the staircase used to lead. A heap of rotten timber lies in the northeast corner.
Well, that does kind of shoot a hole in the theory of using the window upstairs. But wait. On this floor, there was a window which had footsteps to it. Perhaps they went
Yeah.
out that way and crawled across the rooftop or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We
Could
could
be.
investigate that. It's a room we've been in before. It's not likely to fall apart again or something, or have more spiders or raccoons or anything else. Screaming?
Most likely.
No more screaming.
All right. I'll check it out.
Yeah, so you make your way back to that room that had the window, and certainly now that you've kind of had this this idea, you do realize that there are some scratches on the windowsill that seem likely to have been caused by sitting a bullseye lantern there and using it, and it does overlook the water. There is no balcony or anything to climb out on outside the window, though.
Ah,
So not for egress
no, but
or ingress.
enough pieces put together that
So you guys get the impression that, like, the attic is up there, but you would have to, like, make an athletics check to climb up to it because the stairs are not solid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really equipped for that sort of thing.
No? I can head up and drop a rope.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose I could try that.
So yeah, we'll go ahead back up to the partial attic stairs. And
All right.
I have high acrobatics, so I'll try to jump up.
Parkour!
Parkour!
Give me a parkour check.
20, soft 20.
Yeah, you bounce up the corner, wall run up a little bit, beep, 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 up to that little hole. So what you see when you get up there is a gaping hole in the floor, shows where the top of the staircase used to be before it collapsed. That's where you just came in. There are grimy cobwebs on the walls and ceiling, and the floor is covered with broken furniture and other rubbish. Several holes in the roof allow dim light to enter this large room that extends the length of the house. 2 large sacks lie heaped in the northwest corner.
Big, empty room. But there's some sacks.
Well, mind where you step, and make sure there's no spiders in the sacks, or raccoons, or tiny little spiders riding raccoons,
All right.
or screaming women, for that matter. Screaming anything.
I'll walk across and sort of tug on one of the sacks. See if I can move it.
It moves easily, like it has, like old rotten clothing in it.
Then I guess I'll check them.
Okay. You go ahead and you sort of just feel through it to see if it has anything. It mostly is old clothing and rags and stuff, but you do find a porcelain doll costumed to look like a sailor. And if your eyes do not mistake you, the doll's eyes look like they might be made from actual, like, jade.
Well, I'll just put the doll in my pack then.
Yeah. So you figure if you could find someone who really loves creepy porcelain dolls, they might give you more money for the doll. Elsewise, just the jade in the eyes is probably worth 10 gold pieces each.
Okay.
So as you are sifting through and you kind of, stand up to look at the doll, you do hear a little bit of a leathery fluff, 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 fluff. And you do that thing like in all of those, classic horror movies where you kind of freeze, look up, and there are 6 sturges on the ceiling that suddenly... So we'll let you roll initiative against them.
9.
Oh dear. They got 13. So they're going first. Oh shoot. Yeah, this could be real bad. Okay, so there's 6 of them. You know what? I'm gonna say, they're all fluttering around you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first one gets a 24 to hit.
Oh yeah.
It does 6 piercing damage and attaches to you.
Oof.
And like a this is basically like a bat mosquito. This thing, it's a scourge, and so I'll say that once it attaches to you, the other 5 are sort of flapping around, fluttering around, and I'm gonna let them make perception checks to see if they detect Garen down there. Yeah, let's see. 7, a 1. 15 minus 1, so 14. Yeah, I think one of them does swoop down out of the hole and attack you, Garen. Just one. It gets a 16.
That's a hit.
Yeah. So that's 6 piercing damage for you two, and it is attached to you. Okay, so do you want to roll initiative now, Garen?
Sure. 17.
Okay, 17. All right, so it is going to be Gavin's turn next, and the way this works is you can use your action without a roll to detach it from you.
Okay.
But that's your action to do that.
Okay.
It is clearly drinking your blood while attached to you.
Yeah. So I definitely want to detach it.
Yeah, so you use your action to pull this thing out of you.
And then bonus action disengage. And run back to dive out of the attic.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
13 plus 5, 18.
Yeah, you managed to land just fine. You see Garen down there kind of just going, ah!
Couldn't put it better myself.
It wants to eat me.
Yeah.
It
all right.
is eating me.
Yeah. So, okay, that's your turn. Garen, it is your turn.
I would attach this thing if I can.
Yeah, you can. You just use your action to do it.
And throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Probably flies.
All right. So, yeah.
And then,
you have detached it, but they're still all flobbering around. They're flobbering around is what they're doing.
Are they flobbering around?
They're flobbering around, yes.
So did I actually end up climbing up there or not? We never.
No, it came down after
okay.
you.
Yeah.
They were all circling, and once one of them was on Gavin, the others were looking for more prey.
I suggest a strategic retreat, and I will run out of this room and towards the stairs and so forth.
So there's the stairs down to the kitchen that are right there, or you would have to run down the hallway to the other stairs.
Down the hallway.
So down the hallway, and then jump over the gap.
Yes, because
All
it's
right.
not anywhere near the screaming thing.
Right. So you're because you are frightened. Make an athletics check to jump that gap.
That's disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
not a high
good.
DC, but you're doing it at a disadvantage.
Yep, but I got a 4.
Whoa! So go ahead and let's see. You take 2 bludgeoning damages. You fall through the hole in the balcony down to the ground floor.
Ow.
All right. So Gavin, that one that had just got pulled off of Garen is going to try to attack you.
Okay.
And it gets a 23.
Oh, and it's...
Yeah. These things have a surprisingly high attack bonus for a 1/8 CR creature. It's 4 piercing damage.
Oof. Okay.
And then you hear the fluttering of more of them up in the attic, but no more of them come down through the hole. All right, so now it would be we just had Garen, so Gavin.
So yeah, I will again try to
You pull it off.
take
you?
it off. Yeah, pull it off and disengage and run away.
You go in the same way that
Yeah,
Garen
I'll
did?
go the same way he went. Yeah.
All right. You weren't frightened, and you're
Mostly.
more acrobatic generally, so I'll say you can make that jump. You probably make the jump, look down, and see Garrett.
Oh,
Spread eagle on the floor.
However, the joke's on you. I made it down faster.
true. So I'll take the slow way
All
down
right.
the stairs.
So I'll say that you guys have put enough distance now. We're not in initiative with those Sturges anymore.
Good.
They're not good at navigating hallways.
They're tired anyway, too. They're mostly nocturnal. Although, you can see out the window that the sun's getting pretty low right now.
Time for us to leave. Leave now. Leaving now. Yes. Let's go.
Retreat!
So,
Yeah.
I think we can montage the scene of, we see the house silhouetted by the setting sun on the top of this cliff. The front door smashes open. We freeze frame on the two of you emerging in terror. What happens as you guys make your way back down to Saltmarsh and you find the authorities? You let them know that you've uncovered what seems like it's likely a bandit or smuggling type of operation there.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, they do, they ask you to accompany them to kind of another expedition up there. What you find is that there are some caverns underneath the house. They find actually from the water level that there is a secret little dock in there, but it appears to have been all cleared out in the night. So, you've certainly disrupted whatever operation was here, but it seems as though the people who were in charge of it managed to escape.
The perps got away.
Shame about the alchemist's place, too, though. This place in history will no longer be recognized properly. Still, one can't all go down in history, as we shall, friend Gavin. Shall we find Smitty at the bar and congratulate him on his bravery? For running away at the beginning.
Yes, the brave running.
So, you guys didn't ever find out what the deal was with the alchemist. Basically, the town guard, once you kind of showed them what was up, they kind of asked you to steer clear. It's an ongoing investigation, you see. We can't guarantee your safety. You've done a service for Saltmarsh, now go away. That sort of thing. Yeah. I think that'll do it then for tonight. Congratulations.
Only needed godly intervention once.
Yes.
Yeah, and I made it out with 1 hit point.
Yeah, I had 6.
Oh man. Well, it's like that's why I kind of hesitated when I was realizing, oh man, you're up there all by yourself, and there are 6 of these things.
Right.
Yeah. Well, once one of them is on you, the others don't like it anymore, so they overtime.
I'm so small, there clearly wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, like this thing, like when it's like face hugging on you, it's like the others couldn't even see you there.
He was hiding. He was hiding behind it.
Yay! Now, so I will reiterate that this adventure, per the book, is intended for 6 level 1 characters. So the balancing of 2 level 3 characters versus 6 level 1 characters, actually, like, the math of it is that in theory you guys are stronger than those 6 would be, but especially when there are multiple enemies, that shifts the balance back the other way.
Yeah, and we don't have
a wider attack surface.
Yeah, that too, that neither of you are a healer. You were really lucky that you found the those healing potions. Like, it wasn't a sure thing. You had to get the rolls, but yeah. Smarter Master in the chat says, yeah, even the simplest encounter can be deadly when alone, like so many spiders.
Yeah.
Though, there's a part of me that misses these low-level adventures where it's not so hard to actually threaten you.
Yeah, I get that feeling too with my own players.
You know, it's
Yeah,
like
it's a lot different.
I have to throw gods at you for the heroes of legend. Or maybe a bunch of crazy alien space pirates. You know, that might work too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. So on that note, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm excited because heading to Balticon for this weekend. I'm pumped.
Woot.
And then I think the plan is that we'll be back next week. Although I think everyone has kind of slightly wonky schedules, so we'll see if we do some more little one shots like this one. Or it's also theoretically possible that at some point we could continue to find out more about the sinister secret of Saltmarsh, because it turns out the smuggling operation is only the beginning.
Oh dear.
Dun
Bum,
dun dun.
bum, bum.
What a twist.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.